There's a buzz, people are saying?
Yeah, I can hear the buzz, and I can't figure out why. Dude, this machine was literally... So I had a power outage, right? And so this machine was literally off when I came downstairs, so it's not like it's been on forever.
That's wild. It took us, like, the transition from the previous screen to this screen was probably 20 seconds.
Well, once you started hearing the buzz, that's how long it took for me to click on that button and have it actually change scenes.
Dang.
It's crazy. I don't know what the hell.
Well, hopefully it's okay. Anyway, this is the Tuesday show. My name's Ultra David.
And I'm James Chen. How's everybody going?
I made it here despite the best efforts of the Nazis.
The airplane, right? So
that is correct. I was almost detained. So there was an aircraft, World War II era German aircraft with the Iron Cross on it and everything, that crash landed onto the freeway in Los Angeles. Today.
And it like got destroyed and everything.
It got blown up. Yeah. I mean, people were okay. Nobody died. But that literally happened.
Wait, so the pilot was okay?
From what I've read, he's okay.
Dang, that's crazy.
That's from what I've read.
And shout outs to Yuns and Roses for the bit donation.
That's a woo to you.
Woo!
Anyway, I thought that was pretty bizarre. Literally Nazi. What a time to be alive.
Was he a Nazi or was he just flying a vintage airplane?
Probably just flying that airplane.
Yeah,
I don't know the story,
airplane.
But
yeah,
I figured probably just some World War II enthusiast. Anyway, super
weird. It was Time Pilot.
Yeah, that's not even the freeway that I have to take to get here. It's a different freeway,
right. But of course,
everything's so impacted.
Once you mess up one freeway, then it messes everything. Because I mean, the one thing that's interesting about the way the LA freeway works, the freeway system literally forms this rectangle, almost like a trapezoid.
Yeah.
But like, if you're here and you want to get to here, which is exactly what David wants to do, except mirror image for you guys, like you can't just go, you got to take surface streets down to here, you got to go around this way or go around that way. Yeah. So once this freeway gets jacked by an airplane crash, that kills everything. So.
Pretty much. I made it, and, anyway, I'm alive. Let's talk about video games.
That's right.
Soulcalibur VI just dropped. For some people, for the plebs, it came out on Friday. For the cool dudes, it came out earlier than that. So we'll talk a little bit
for about... For the really bad people, it came out today,
what?
Technically.
Did it really?
Well, this was the first time I even had a chance to touch it, is what I'm just saying. Yeah.
So we'll talk about Soulcalibur VI. We will also have Flo on the line to discuss things with us. He, of course, is a longtime Soulcalibur head.
Yeah, we talked to him during the beta, after the beta, and, he basically cried about Reversal Edge all day. Yeah. So I'm just curious. And he also said, like, Taki, I don't know. But then, like, I recently saw a tweet. It was like, actually, Taki's kind of like what I want to do. And
okay.
So I want to see what he has to say
I'm interested in the evolution. Yeah, we'll definitely talk with him. And then we're also going to discuss what happened this past weekend. ECT occurred, Master Cup. You went to the Tetris World Championship.
Oh, do you want to just talk about that during that whole section? Or do you want to save it for the end? Because it's not fighting.
The Tetris thing?
Yeah.
It's up to you.
Okay.
Up to you.
We'll see.
We'll talk about Canada Cup this coming weekend because there's going to be the Super Turbo Tournament of Legends. So we'll have some guests on to discuss that as well, and etc.
Yes.
But let's begin with Soulcalibur number 6. As the game says, Soulcalibur 6.
I tweeted about that because that's
weird.
Dude, because when I always expect like Resident Evil 7, they get all excited. And so when this one came out, I was like, Soulcalibur. And I was expecting like 6. It was like Soulcalibur 6.
Yeah, it's really weird. But, before we get to Flo, I guess, bring him on the line, I guess, while I'm talking about it. He can make that happen.
Sure.
I am loving it. I love it so far. I'm having an absolute blast.
Well, here, let me tell Flo. Feel free to jump on, Flo.
He's in the chat.
Yeah, oh, he's there. There he is. Okay, can you hear him?
I can hear him.
Okay, cool. Can the people at home hear him now? We tested this before show started, and the people in the stream said they were hearing him, so. All right. Okay, cool.
Sick. All right. First off, Ari, good morning.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hey, what's the coolest custom character you've made so far?
I'm not a nerd, so I've only made one, okay? And it was just Taki. I've seen a lot. I've seen a whole bunch of penises. A lot of penises.
Now, is that something that someone found an item that kind of looks like a penis and they just made it look like just
so they have shapes, right? And you can like create your own stuff. And I guess people are good at turning shapes into penis.
Pretty much, yeah. There's a cylinder that you can do stuff with, so they just elongate the cylinder, you know.
It seems like it's too easy at that point in time.
But whoever made the lizard dick did like an awesome job, because it's not just the cylinder; it's like the full anatomical precision is there. It's very impressive, I feel.
You're very impressed by the level of penis precision.
Don't you agree? I think it's excellent.
The penal detail.
To each his own, David.
Yeah.
If that's what you look for in your fighting games, is penis precision, that's all.
I mean, it doesn't have the giant vein, but you know, other than that, it's good.
You know, maybe Soulcalibur VII.
Yeah, that's true. That's
okay.
true. Yeah.
So far, I've made Dad Astaroth, just Astaroth in complete uniform with complete armor everywhere, except his butt.
Sounds like a very David character.
Look, it's his name is Astaroth. All right, it's low-hanging fruit.
I got it first time.
Yeah, right. Cool. All right, awesome.
Jewish, you know, we speak to each other.
Yeah, we get it. We get it. All right, man. So let's talk about the actual game itself. When we last discussed things...
Well, before we get to there, so can you make characters with other genders, basically? Can you gender swap characters? Yes. Oh, you can.
Yeah. So, like, I made a female Astaroth just for fun. I don't know.
Because, I mean, I guess we'll talk about the costumes a little, the customizations a little later, because Eris just had a video that he tweeted out, and I kind of wanted to talk about that. But let's talk about the core gameplay first.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. So, Ari, the last time we had you on, you were talking about Soulcalibur VI, and you were concerned about the reversal edge.
You felt like Taki wasn't your character, wasn't played right or something.
So, what's your initial impression of the game like so far?
So, it's different now. I still don't like reversal edge. I'm not a fan of reversal edge. I still think it's a scrubby mechanic and introduces stuff that it doesn't need to introduce.
Okay.
I don't think people are using it correctly yet, because what it is it negates mix-ups. So there's a lot of situations in Soulcalibur where, you know, you're thrown into are you going to go low or are you going to go mid? And people just try and block there. There's no reason to block there. Just throw out reversal edge, and it negates all the mix-ups.
So
I don't think people are doing that yet.
So reversal edge absorbs everything. There's no like high or low. It absorbs one hit.
If you have those blue moves, the blue big
break
moves,
attacks,
those break it. Yeah, those break it. And you can sidestep it, but I don't think that's a valid thing.
It's actually
you're gonna sidestep it.
Like, it's actually kind of tough for Astaroth to sidestep those. I feel like you got to really be on point. Especially
you have
for some characters.
Be ready for it. It's something you have to expect, and it causes like a break in the flow of gameplay. No pun intended. Where it's just, I'm still not a fan of it, but it's not as huge as I thought it would be. But it's still super annoying.
Wait. Are we talking about lizard penises right now, or are we talking about reversal edge?
Possibly both. They're about the same level.
Because you said something about it not being as huge as you thought it was, but it's still annoying, right? So.
I get it, Jay.
Dang. So far, I see what you're talking about with reversal edge, where you can like interrupt things in a weird way, and you have to sidestep it and so forth. Mm-hmm. I appreciate that at least it's not the same for every character. Like, different characters have different properties. The reversal edge itself can have shorter or longer range. Then once you get into the actual thing, different characters' follow-ups produce like some very different results. Some characters, like Astaroth, has ring outs on both the horizontal and the vertical option.
Oh, really?
Astaroth is stupid.
Astaroth is super good. But some other characters have, they get more combo damage on one, they get less on the other. So if you know that, and I don't know all that stuff yet, but I know that that variation exists. Once you know all that stuff, then it becomes not just like a 33, 33, 33. It's like, I don't want to give you the big damage option, so I'm willing to take like the less damage more often, right? So
right. That's actually how throw techs work in this game also. is it's educated guesses. It's not like Tekken where you can see the hands, but you know, if you know a throw will ring you out backwards, you have to educatedly guess that they're going to want to do that throw. So you break that. But the problem with the reversal edge stuff is Astaroth specifically. His is especially good because you know the stage, just the square stage, right? So
yeah,
I got a situation the other day where I got reversal edged kind of in the corner, where kind of my back is to an edge.
Oh, yeah.
So literally, I had a 50-50 for my life.
Right.
And I was like, this is the stupidest thing that's ever happened. Because his B reverse rings out, and his A forward rings out.
Yeah.
So it's just like, what just happened?
So what did you do?
I died.
You did?
Yeah, I died.
Well...
I broke B twice, and I died.
Oh, you got crushed. Yeah, so what's interesting, too, is that if you tie on the first one, then it goes to the second round, and if you tie again, that's like a crush. But in either case, it can be a lethal hit. So for Astaroth, his lethal hit version of the B one, which is the one that puts you backwards, is like, in some stages, literally the full stage length. It's the whole... It's crazy far.
Right,
crazy far.
So it's getting nerfed, basically, probably.
I'm not sure. Cause,
no.
Yeah,
that's what he's supposed to be.
Yeah, I think you're right. I feel like that's just the character, because he has good ranged attacks. He doesn't have good defense up close, so he may want to go into reversal edge more often. Right. Or if you are trying to defend against him, using reversal edge against him is not great, because then you put yourself into the situation where he could kill you.
Well, here's my question here. So if you, obviously I haven't had a chance to play this, barely, basically. I touched it for like 20 minutes just now, right? So if the enemy reversal edges, you can just block it though, right? You can just block the reversal edge, can't you?
I mean, you can get broken.
Doesn't
also,
that, yeah, if you block, doesn't that send you to the second round of the reversal edge?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, really? So even if you block it, you get put into...
And if you block twice, you guard crush yourself.
Right, yeah, you get guard crushed, yeah.
But I just mean even the initial reversal edge hit. Can you block that?
You can...
Unless it's fully charged. If it's fully charged, it's unblockable.
Think of it like a focus
attack.
In Street Fighter 4.
Okay. Gotcha. Wow, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, no, I see that there are maybe some issues with it, but I think that I don't dislike it as much as I maybe thought that I might. Maybe that's the character that I'm using in particular, but that's my take so far.
So, well, Astaroth, I think, is one of the reversal edge characters. I think certain characters will use it a lot more than others. Yeah. And I think Astaroth is, especially since you have nothing up close, really, that you're, oh my god, I'm doing this. And especially since the risk to reward is so in your favor.
Interesting. Right. Now, reversal edges, the reason why you can sidestep them is because reversal edges are almost always horizontal attacks.
They're always vertical.
I'm sorry, vertical. Yeah.
They're all vertical.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. Other than reversal edge, what do you think about... You were talking about ToLIII last time. You didn't seem too enthused. Has that changed, or is that the same?
Yeah, I just want to say, I thought I saw a tweet from you saying something like, wait a minute, she might actually be like exactly how I want to play her, or something like that.
I don't know about that. It's more so I kind of figured out what they intended for you to do with her.
Okay.
So I've been playing a lot of ToLIII. I've been playing a lot of everyone, but a lot of ToLIII. And even day one, I was like, I don't know, she's not that. But I was like, okay, maybe there's something here. And then, okay, maybe there's a little bit more, maybe there's a little bit more. And now, I found some stuff, like, literally yesterday that makes me think she might be one of the best characters in the game.
Whoa.
Yeah. Like, I think she actually has the best ring-out game in the game.
Oh, really?
Oh, interesting.
It's very different. She's normally a whatever ring-out character. She's not a ring-out character.
Okay.
But now, like, I have like some Hildy type stuff where, like, I don't know if you know, but like in Soulcalibur 4, Hildy would bring you out from like half screen.
Yeah.
Right.
And she can kind of do that. Like, basically, my game plan with ToLIII is it's a lot of big guard break moves, because I want your life bar flashing the whole game, because I don't go low and I don't throw. That's just like the way that I play. And the way that I get my damage is I make you panic. And what's the best way to make someone panic is make their guard bar flashing. So I actually don't even go for the guard break. I just go for the red flashing. And you're like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And you just take hits all day.
Okay.
Interesting. Okay.
And she does that.
She does that very, very well.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. So now, are you enjoying it though? Like, when you're playing it, do you just feel like learning this with Taki now? Are you having a lot more fun with the game?
Well, I was having fun before. Like, I'm not really a person that's like, oh my god, I'm losing, I'm not having fun. As long as I'm improving, I feel like I'm having fun.
Right.
I get bored and I don't have fun when, like, it's too easy almost. Mm-hmm. Like, I like losing because that means that there's room for improvement, you know? So, I'm having a ton of fun with the game. I'm having fun learning characters. I'm having fun with my main characters. I'm having fun with sub-characters. I'm having fun with everything.
Okay.
Well, I'm with you. I'm really, really enjoying the game so far. I went into Flo's stream yesterday, and he showed me some Astaroth stuff to do.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Since that happened, I feel like I've been doing better. I'm going for lows less, and it's really just more about mids or grabs, and I'm trying to zone out a little bit differently. So I feel like I'm having more success. So thank you.
Sounds like a very Tekken thing, like trying not to go for lows too much, and just.
It's not so much that, because Tekken, if you go for lows, you're going to die for them, and that's why you don't go for lows in Tekken.
Right. Mm-hmm.
In Soulcalibur, you're not going to die for the lows. There's just, you don't need to. There are characters that have good lows, and they'll poke with those lows once in a while.
A lot are safe. There's a lot of safe lows.
Most of them are safe, until people start jumping. That's what makes safe lows unsafe. That's the biggest thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I'm really enjoying it so far. The game has a really nice mix to me of really approachable and kind of obvious at least what your sort of general game plan is, but then also obviously a lot of depth in terms of spacing and mix-ups and all that sort of thing. All the characters are very different from each other. It seems like they're wildly different options depending on the character, and I really enjoy that too. So I'm having a blast, dude. I really like the game so far.
No.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was about to say, are people in the chat being honest? Is this your birthday today?
No, that's a meme.
Oh, okay. Okay, just making sure. That's why I didn't want to be happy birthday, because I figured it would be that kind of.
Well, you guys got.
Don't fall for them, James.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, dude. So I've really been. I've been playing it a lot, and I feel like I've been improving, but I'm still in that kind of low level area where I don't know what's even good or not. Really, I get rushed down a lot. A lot of characters are rushed down, or at least that's how the people play them. And I just don't know enough about what's going to come next or what could come next to know how to defend against that, and to also just be able to tell is the way that this person's using this character a strong way to use them or not.
Right.
And characters have so many different tools that I notice that everybody is playing them in a different way. My Astaroth is nothing like many other Astaroths I've seen online, because we all have the 5 to 10 buttons that we think are the ones, and it's all right, who's right?
Yeah, I mean that's the thing right now is I just trying to pick. I just went into training mode. So the first thing I did was go into training mode, and I started messing around. But is there a general rule to A attacks? Obviously they're vertical. I mean they're horizontal buttons. B attacks are vertical. Are AB is there some special property to AB attacks? Is there special properties to K attacks, or are ABs and Ks just all over the place depending on the character, et cetera, et cetera?
So the most basic. Soulcalibur at its most basic is, if you think they're going to sidestep, press A. If you think they're going to duck, press B. That is at the very most basic thing of Soulcalibur. Obviously, it gets more advanced. Right. But I think the problem with the way that people are approaching this game is, it's like a Tekken, where if you go to the move list, there's going to be 100 moves.
Right.
People are overwhelmed. So when people ask me how to learn a character or play a character, I'll give them 5 moves. I'll give them 5 to 6 moves. This is what you focus on. This is what you do.
Right.
And you go, you understand why you're using those moves, You go online, you use those moves, you're like, oh, this works for this works for that. You don't overwhelm yourself by going through the entire move list and learn 100 moves right then.
Yeah.
Eventually, once you get comfy with those 5 moves and realize that that's the core of your game, you go back to the move list and go through every single move and be like, okay, I can add this in for this. This was missing for this. This was missing for that. You can do that.
It's basically how, I've been trying to teach people to play fighting games in general is I call it pet moves. Just like find the 5 pet moves or 6 pet moves that look good to you and play them and keep using them, and eventually you'll find out why they are good or not good, and then you'll find another move that will kind of take over that spot. I thought this move had great range, but it actually doesn't, so let me find another move, right? So
exactly. It's like you go into Street Fighter and you learn one bread and butter, and that's what you do for a while. You don't go in and you learn Monot combos. That's not
right, for sure.
And that was always the frustrating part, because so many people were always like, well, I want to do one-frame links in Street Fighter 4, and it's like, you don't have to. Just, learn something quick,
I've already gone through this evolution a couple of times, just with Astaroth in the past week. There were moves that I thought looked good, and then on using them a lot, I realized, oh, that whiffs a lot right there, or I didn't realize that this was duckable, or that people are starting to jump over my lows now. Now I'm having to switch things up. So it's already happening. Do
you mind if I ask this? I know, sorry, I'm totally turning this into Soulcalibur, the tutorial here, just because I'm curious myself. But how, obviously in Tekken, crouching is big. Eventually you start, low crushing highs and stuff like that, and just reacting to certain things like that. And there's not really jumping in Tekken. How important are crouching and jumping in Soulcalibur VI?
Crouching highs is very important. There's a lot of strings that are say, mid-high or low-high, and they're safe. They're almost always safe. So what you do is you block the first hit and you crouch the second hit and you punish. That's a huge thing of Soulcalibur, and that's actually one of the first things I'll look for if I'm playing someone. I'll do one of those type of strings and say, okay, do you know how to play Soulcalibur? Because that is Soulcalibur fundamentals, and that'll teach me what type of player I'm playing.
That makes sense. I figured that out versus Nightmare. He rushes in and does this thing.
The 6AA, yeah.
6AA is probably what it is,
You duck the second hit.
Yeah, once I figured out I could do that, I became at least 50% better versus Nightmare. It's a lot.
It's huge because people will take that all day, and it's okay, well, it's safe when you push down.
Right.
But you just duck it every time and you screw.
Yeah. I've noticed people jumping over my lows. I've been watching a lot of streams and videos and at high level play. It seems like people use jump. I mean, not a lot, but it's an important tool.
I'd say it's more player specific. Certain people were very jumpy. In Soulcalibur 2, I would say the most jumpy people were actually me and Eris. Other players did not jump. They did not understand the power of jump. But I think that's because they didn't understand the risk to reward. Because it's a game where there's air control, right? So my risk to reward is if you go low, I jump it, I get a punish. If you go mid or high, I take one hit, I air control away, I take no damage. If you throw, I jump it, I get a punish.
Right.
The risk to reward is super
interesting.
Okay.
I can see that.
Now, but if you jump, there are going to be certain moves that obviously when they hit you out of the air, they can launch you and you can get a big combo.
No,
or is it?
No.
Or is it like Tekken, where hop kicks don't launch you when you get hit out of the air kind of thing?
It's kind of like that, but there's also air control. So if they're just doing stuff, if you're in a situation where there's a mix-up and you jump, you're going to take one hit, you air control away, and who cares?
Okay. Interesting.
It has, like I was saying before, I feel like it's very approachable, but there are options in Soulcalibur that I have rarely had to deal with in games. I haven't played Tekken a lot, so maybe that's part of why. But I feel like my movement in this game is so super important in a way that it's not in most fighting games. Obviously some, but having to have backstep on being willing to back up, that is to say get rid of guard, right? Not guard, and back out of range, or know when it's time to sidestep, and not, that also means not blocking up close, right? You have to, I feel move in ways that I'm at least not accustomed to moving in fighting games.
Right.
And I like it a lot.
So, whereas Tekken is more forward back movement. You know, there's Korean backdash, all that stuff, and then there will be the side step. You'll obviously have players with side important things, but it's more so forward back and a little bit of side step. Whereas Soulcalibur is side step, and a little bit of forward back.
Yeah, right. That's how it seems.
When I was in training mode messing around, I kept trying to Korean backdash. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, definitely none of that.
Yeah. It's just it was muscle memory, you know. It was muscle memory, and so I was just like Korean back, and then my character's like moving sideways a little. I'm like, okay.
You have to be super careful backdashing because they'll get counterhit for it.
Yeah, you get busted for it.
Dang. Okay.
So when I've been playing against experienced players, that's one of the things that jumps out to me the most about them is that they're so accustomed to the ranges, but also just accustomed to like taking the risks of movement. Because movement by itself is risky. You get counter hit or you get hit. I mean, you're opening yourself up regardless of which way you move, and you have to be so familiar with the options in order to move around like that. That it's like interesting to watch somebody do it well. I like it. It's really super fun.
Okay. Huh. Interesting. Well, yeah. I mean, I'm simultaneously excited and terrified to jump into this game and stuff. But I mean, so far, how do you feel about like the balance with the game? Do you feel like, because I've been reading some stuff like that, some people are saying some characters are busted because they've got like 80% combos and stuff like that, or very Street Fighter 5e kind of, if you're at the wall and I knock you down 150-50 and you're dead kind of situation.
No, I don't think there's anything like that. Like I have a quick early character I think is the best character in the game, but we'll see what happens.
Who?
I think Yoshi is the best character in the game.
Oh, okay.
I think he is ridiculous. I think he has everything. I think he is the perfect character.
Okay.
Interesting.
As far as balance, I think so far everyone's good. I haven't seen anyone that's like, oh, this character's kind of whack.
Interesting. Okay.
But so as far as like Taki goes, some of the stuff that I was talking about before with the ring out stuff is like, you know how people would always joke about like giving like T-Hawk a gun and like all this stuff, like, oh, my Cammy needs a one-hit 3-frame button that does 100% damage. Right? So Taki kind of has that. like not even joking, because she can ring out from wherever. That's literally 100%.
What's the move that rings out?
It's okay. So remember how I was talking about how I want you to be red all the time?
Yeah.
So basically, if I get that guard break half screen away from anywhere, I can ring you out and you die.
What do you do?
It's really kind of messed up. So it's a guard break, and then it's 6xB, which is lethal hit.
Yeah, I know what that looks like. Yeah.
And then it's a little launch thing into a jump kick thingy. It takes you very, very far, and it also goes over walls.
And
which
you
is
can't
also super good.
You can't DI out of it.
No, it's a combo. You're dead.
Dang.
Oh no, you're talking about
Air control.
Air control. No, you can't. That's the first thing I tested. I put that on. There's no air control in that.
Huh.
Sick, dude.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really good. I put up a video of it from yesterday.
Okay, yeah, I'll check it out then.
Okay.
Just from my very low level point of view, it hasn't seemed like any character lacks options or seems bad. But again, that's very low level. So I don't know if that holds up at higher levels. I can definitely see Yoshi being super good. He does seem like he has a ton of tools. You can never whiff when you're playing against him and he has super, because he teleports right next to you and always hits you.
I think the biggest things are he's just a solid character. Like, he has all the basics, and then he also has his BS on top of it. Like his mix-up game after he knocks you down is super good, because it's hard to reverse ledge getting up. So that's another thing. He has his 3B is super good. The little slide thing, the full crouch 3K is super good.
Okay.
He takes your meter. He
right.
has meter all the time. He has EX moves without having to activate. He has like crazy stuff. His wall damage is crazy. He has everything.
I was wondering about that.
He has a forward ring out. He has everything.
I was wondering about that. So, like, some people have the soul charge move where they charge up and then they like get on fire or
Everybody
whatever
has
like that, right?
Soul charge, yeah.
So when you actually make a custom character, how do they do a custom on fire version of that?
How do they do it?
Yeah, how does the game do that?
Well, I'm not sure about that, but it's looks good.
Do they actually have it? Because like the characters actually look different. Like their hair goes all crazy when they go on to like.
Oh, I guess that's not. I haven't seen that, but like, they're kind of like highlighted and they have like little lines on them and stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of customs, then, Eris just released a video that he said that customs need to be banned from ranked because they do actually change characters' hurt boxes and ranges. And you're not really learning your character because when you play them, you can't learn in a tournament environment because the characters are different sizes and stuff like that. Now, I was surprised to find out that the characters had different sizes at all when you did that and stuff like that. But I saw you respond to that. You sounded a little concerned about that as well, Flo. So, I mean, have you experienced that yourself?
So, I actually didn't know about that until he tweeted that. I thought that you make a character, do whatever penises you want to do, and then you pick a weapon, right? Mm-hmm. And I thought once you pick the weapon, that's what determines everything else.
Right.
I didn't think that, because I haven't really made characters. I didn't make a from base character. I made some ghetto Taki with like wings or something. I didn't do anything crazy. So I didn't go too deep into it. I didn't know that it actually affects the characters.
Has that been, is that for sure that it affects it? Is there any like,
apparently it
figured
says
it out
when you do it. Apparently it says it affects the range.
Size also affects damage? So smaller characters have less range but do more damage? That's what someone in chat says.
I do remember it saying that when I made the character. That's true.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't think that should be in ranked.
Yeah, that needs to go away from ranked.
That makes sense. Like, I don't think that the penis has a hurt box, right? Like, probably not.
I don't think so. I don't think you can hit someone with the penis.
I don't think so. No, I don't mean hitbox. Like, I don't think you can hit the penis.
After the stream, we'll test it, okay? We'll both make penis characters, and we'll just go swing them around.
You're absolutely right.
But see, that's perfect for this game. This is all about sword fighting, right?
Hey! It's a weapon fighter, right?
Yeah, so I don't know about your experience so far, but I feel like most people who I've played against on ranked are using custom characters, whether they're like totally brand new or just like an edit to some existing character.
Yeah.
And I've been doing the same thing. I've been going online with Dad Astaroth. I've been going online with NASA Staroth as well, my nerd character.
Anything, so I didn't mind it until today.
Right.
Yeah, I'd forgotten. I'd totally forgotten. But it does say when you're creating a character that it affects things.
Yeah, that should definitely not be allowed on ranked.
Yeah.
That seems odd. Then that should almost be for sure taken off of there. And dude, did you see that one guy who made the Taki who looks just like Sophia?
I did.
Yes, I've played some of those. I played
have too.
Like a character that looked like Zazimo, but was like, I don't know, like Astaroth or something. It was something
like that.
Yeah, I definitely played Ivy Astaroth. Like,
oh wow,
it looks just like Ivy. I mean, obviously the movement is like clearly not her, but the character, if you like, when I was loading up versus the opponent and like before the actual round started, I was like, what? Like this? What character is this? but it does say when you are first joining a match and it's like you versus opponent right before you actually go into the game. It says custom name of the character and
style.
Yeah. So it will say what the character actually is, but you do have to be paying attention for
right, but it's not even
there. And I definitely played a match yesterday against a custom Bro, and I didn't know who I was playing against until like the round was over. I was like, oh yeah, this is Bro. Okay.
Yeah, see, because I think it's just the subconscious, subtle things that are going to mess you up.
It's happened to me too. Yeah, there were just today, this morning, I was playing online. I wasn't paying attention. We went into the match. It was some girl character, and I had no idea who it was until it was Grow also, and she went into that stance that Grow has, and then does like the lows, the like flurry of lows.
Yeah, and then I was like, oh yeah, that's
and then I was
exactly
like, oh yeah, okay, because that's like very distinct looking.
Right. But see, like I feel like that is like makes it messed up for ranked matches. You know what I mean? Like I feel like that should be banned. So I mean, honestly, I think customs should be banned altogether, or just make it so that when you go into a ranked match, you have an option that says no customs.
Yeah, that would work.
That makes sense.
But the problem with that is you would probably get matched up with nobody.
Maybe so.
Because you might be some of the only serious people there.
Well, then
right?
you'd only get matched up with serious people. That's not a bad thing.
Actually, that's true. It'd be kind
That'd
of
be
a
a filter.
serious filter that way, yeah.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I definitely want to make some custom characters, but, like, that kind of sucks that I'm going to be playing against tiny girl Astaroth, and
Yeah.
it's, like, going to be a completely different fight than what it is to fight actual Astaroth, you know?
Yeah, no, you're right. And I agree with folks in the chat who were saying that if customs stand ranked, then they should at least be normalized. Like, so even if you make a character that's small, the game should just say, you're not small right now. In ranked, you're normal size.
Yeah, like, I had assumed that you pick a weapon. If I pick Nightmare's weapon, I am Nightmare. I have his hitboxes, I have his hardboxes.
Well, see, here's the thing, though, right? Because Tekken and Soulcalibur, those games are not based off of necessarily hitboxes and hurtboxes. They're based off of actual sprite, like actual polygon clipping. That was how Street Fighter IV was originally designed before Seth actually went in and forced them to make hitboxes in the game. Because he was like, it's not going to play like Street Fighter if you do this.
I'm not sure this is public. But...
Whatever, who cares? It's Street Fighter 4, it's way back then now.
That's true,
so
yeah.
It's way back, who cares? It'll come out in Seth's book eventually.
Yeah,
anyway,
I know.
So, like that
That'll come
kind of
out when League of Legends Fighter comes out, right?
Yeah, because even like Mortal Kombat kind of does that. I think it does actual polygon clipping now in the newest ones and stuff. So that's the problem. Is like I don't know if they can actually load girl Astaroth and give her big Astaroth like actual hurt boxes and hit boxes.
Dang, maybe the dick does have a hurt box then.
That's crazy. We gotta test it.
It might. It might.
We're gonna lab the dicks.
We gotta lab the dick for sure.
Yeah, you're gonna hit that thing. You're just gonna hit just the tip, and then it's just it's gonna hurt.
Yeah,
so.
does that do the trick? It's true.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, I feel like at this point in time, customs should be banned from ranked, and it's unfortunate because it's fun. It is fun stuff, but I don't know how that's gonna work. If they can make it so that all the moves are normalized, that's the best way to do it, in my opinion. Instead of banning everything, make it so that everything is normalized. And if normalized, when you play a ranked match, you should have the option of turning off the enemy's custom appearance. So on their game, they're custom, but on your game, they just look normal.
Like, that's just gonna cause like things and crazy.
I know. That's
true,
the only
yeah.
problem. But that's if they're different sizes, right? And they have different strengths and stuff like that. But if you can normalize it, then it would work.
That would be nice. It seems unlikely to change, but that would be nice.
Yeah.
Speaking of online play, how's your experience been in terms of connections?
It's when it's good, it's good. I have this provider out here called Cox, and they don't really like me.
Yes, I remember.
It's not the best.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'm the best to judge that.
Okay.
But I can only judge when it's good, and when it's good, it's good. So that's nice.
For me, so far, I've felt pretty good on connections. There definitely have been some poor ones and some desyncs, disconnects. But I think in general, I feel like I'm able to do what I feel like I should be able to do. I don't have a ton of experience. Well, I don't have any experience with the game offline, so I don't know like how it feels differently. But I don't notice that it feels like a delay or anything like that.
Well, see, that's the thing is I think that kind of makes it so that you wouldn't be able to judge it right.
Yeah,
because,
that's what I'm saying. I think I might not be the best judge.
When I played Injustice 1, I started online, and I was like, this online's not bad at all. Then I played offline finally, and then I was like, and I went back online, I couldn't do it. Same thing happened with Tekken. So I couldn't block anything in Tekken, and then when I went to SER and I was playing, everyone was like, dang, James, you're like blocking all these lows, and I'm like, I don't know how I'm doing any of this,
I remember Soulcalibur VI, and like, I remember how that online was, and I remember because there's two different types of lows in Soulcalibur. There's the slow kind of low, which is kind of like a snake edge, in where you can block it. You can block it on reaction 100% of the time.
Right.
And there's lows that are unseeable that are just guesses. And in Soulcalibur V, you could get away with those stupid lows that aren't real all day. In this, I can block those every time where I can jump them. I can see
even
them.
online, huh? Okay.
Yeah, even online.
Okay.
So I'd say that's a good sign.
Right.
That is a good sign.
Yeah, but I did read that people were doing tests with it, and it does have variable input lag, right? So, like
I mean, it's 2018, doesn't everything,
Yeah, I know, right?
Well, from what I've read, it's like on average 6, but it doesn't. Doesn't vary hugely from that. It's not like that's what SF5 did until today, which is like up to 3 frames variability. So,
Yeah.
So
Have you
I'm
tried that, by the way?
also. What's that?
Have you tried that, by the way? The new lag?
No, I haven't tried
No,
it yet.
not yet. Because I think you can only try it offline right now. Like, it wasn't online. Cause has the servers been updated now?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, but in any case, I haven't tried it. Hey, so
Before we get the finitude, ask what's the difference between variable input lag and just input lag. So input lag for most games is the input lag is 6 point whatever frames, and that's just what it is. For some reason in Street Fighter V, it jumps between, like it increases and then resets. So it's like 5 frames up to like 7 or 8 frames, and then it jumps back down, and then it goes back
4 to
down.
7.
It's like 4 to 7 or something like that.
Yeah. So there was a lag cycle. So if you were off by 1 frame, just an unfortunate frame, there's no way to time it as a person playing, just whatever's going on. So it could be at 7, and then the next frame it could be 4. So that's a big difference.
Yeah.
It doesn't. I mean, it's
So crazy.
It's not huge, honestly, but it can be significant.
Right. Yeah.
It's huge for like Street Fighter 5, time in medias, for sure.
Yeah.
It can be big. Yeah. Hey, so is there anything else you want to say about the gameplay?
No, I think that's about it.
Okay.
All right, so Sonic Fox got 2nd place at ECT. Dragon.
I called that.
What's that?
I called that, by the way. Before that tournament even started, I said grand finals was going to be Link Wars versus Sonic Fox.
They
Before
seem like the
tournament
best.
even
Yeah.
And I also knew that Sonic Fox was not going to beat him because Sonic Fox cannot beat Siegfried. Here, okay, I'll give you something about the game.
Okay.
I'll give you a quick tip against Siegfried especially because Siegfried is basically Soulcalibur 2 Nightmare, which was probably like my best match back then. So the reason I knew Sonic Fox would lose is, what is Sonic Fox? Sonic Fox is known for his offense, right? It's all offense. His offense is amazing. He has the best offense around, right? But the whole thing against Siegfried is the way you beat him is you have to take your turn second. You can never take your turn first. You walk up, you block. You walk up, you block. Sonic Fox doesn't like taking his turn second. He always likes to just go in and get his stuff started. So I knew he was just going to run into 3Bs all day. He just ran into every single 3B because that's what Siegfried does. He wants you to take your turn first.
Interesting.
So if you walk up and block the 3B, and then get your AA, and then you start your pressure. And I think if Sonic Fox had done that, he would have won.
Interesting.
Because that was literally like one of the only things I saw at ECT was I saw the grand finals of Soulcalibur because I really wanted to check that out. And yeah, Linker is just, he mopped him up.
He did.
Like he lost one game and then he was just like, nope, sorry, I'm just gonna hit you with this big long swingy move, and he just like destroyed
Siegfried
him.
is like the anti-Sonic Fox. He lost to him in at Seam also.
Right.
Siegfried.
Oh yeah.
It's just very anti-Sonic Fox.
So in addition to that, Dragon at the pre-launch party beat a bunch of old school heads. Dragon, the NRS player who's like 20 years old maybe.
I've watched some of that.
Here's my question. When was the last time the Soulcalibur scene was strong, do you think?
What do you mean, like the
quality of
players?
the quality of play, the quantity of play also.
Oh, quality of play, Soulcalibur 2.
Forever ago.
Yeah, because 3, 4, 5, people stuck with it, but it wasn't the top players. Like I'm not dogging the top players of those games. Obviously, they're great players, but the top players of Soulcalibur 2 were so like refined and like it was just like another level that the top players took that game. And I think those players leaving lowers the overall skill. Like it doesn't. If someone's not pushing you to be better and better and better, then you're only going to get to a certain point. And I think those people leaving affects the 3, 4, 5 players and how high they got.
So there are a ton of good players in fighting games in general nowadays. Sonic Fox and Dragon are a couple of them, but there's a lot of others, and a bunch of people seem like at least they're now interested in Soulcalibur. I don't know if that'll last, but at least for now. What do you think about the chances of the younger players in general versus established players in Soulcalibur?
Well, like I told you last time, I think Sonic Fox is going to be very, 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 very good at this game. Dragon is looking super good also. I don't know who else is picking the game up.
Flo, do you think that old Soulcalibur players are ass is my question.
Soulcalibur 2 players or
I mean,
3, 4, 5?
existing Soulcalibur players. People who have stuck around and have been playing 3, 4, and 5.
you're gonna put me on the spot like this? I mean, I don't think that.
Look, I'm not a part of this question, okay? I'm just, I'm.
Like, I mean, I'll give you the hot take, David. I don't care. I'll say some shit.
Do it.
You want me to say some shit? I'll say some shit.
Yes.
I don't think they're the greatest. I don't think they're horrible, but I don't think that they're like the level of play now that everyone's forced to take, and just the levels that everyone's gotten to, whether it's NRS or Street Fighter players or whatever it is. This is a new level. Like, everyone wants to talk about, oh, back in the day when the
You're right.
No, fuck you. That's not real. Because it's so much harder to win and be consistent now than it is back then. Yeah. Winning a 30-man tournament, James Chen won 30-man tournaments back then. You think James Chen gonna win a tournament now? Come on.
Boy.
Hey, look, I got
I love you.
I got mostly second place, okay? I only won like 2 or 3 tournaments, so there you go.
I'm just saying, it's a different time now. The level of everyone is much higher. The information, because you could win a tournament back then by saving that shit for nationals. Yeah. Having one secret character with one little secret strat that you could just use on someone. That doesn't exist anymore because there's YouTube. Some jibbo is going to throw it up on Twitter and you're going to see it.
Yep.
You'll rank.
So my question is, Flo.
You got banned. Are you still talking?
Are you still there, Flo, or did we lose you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you cut out for a little bit.
So let me ask you this question. If you decided to go in and start playing Soulcalibur in tournaments again, how do you think you would do?
I have no idea. It's me in a tournament, James. No one knows. No one knows who's going to show up for that. Is it going to be Flo or is it going to be Flo?
No, that's a good point. But I guess really what my question is this like an MK9 situation where the people who had been playing Mortal Kombat before 9, and basically even during 9, were, I'm going to be honest, not the best video game players.
Okay, look, let's...
Me and Justin definitely took their money.
Yeah, I was just about to tell that story. So you and Justin and Markman and L.I. Joe and who else was there? Like, it was all these Street Fighter...
Fubarduck.
Yeah, Fubarduck, that's right. Yep.
That's right. There was the top 3 at that Vegas thing was Justin, you, and Joe.
Yeah, I think so.
Something like that.
Yeah. The Mortal Kombat players weren't real back then.
I don't think so, and I think that basically continued until like late MKX. Do you think that it's that kind of situation, or is it more? Is there more parity than that?
That's actually a good way of playing it. I don't know. I mean, Linkers is a Soulcalibur V player, I think. So like he's holding it up for them. I think that there will be those players that like defend the turf, but I don't know for how long that's going to last because this is only a week 1 tournament, and like I said, the Sonic Fox thing is literally if he had taken his turn second, that's all it would have taken, and I think he would have beaten Linkers. So I mean, you don't have matchups and stuff like that yet, and Sonic Fox is one of those people that isn't going to just lose the Sig Freak twice and just deal with it. He's going to figure out why.
Yeah, and plus another thing too is obviously guys like Linkers and stuff like that, as everybody starts to push, he's gonna go up with it, right? So
yeah. No, I definitely think those type players.
And that's the other thing too is that Sonic Fox is kind of an anomaly anyway, right? I don't even know.
We can say Dragon also. I think
Dragon too.
Yeah. So all these young kids coming in here and trying to take over everything here.
Those guys are super good players, man.
I just came from the Tetris thing, and that's exactly what happened there too. So
that's right. Yeah. Well, all right. I guess that's about it. Anything else you want to talk about?
No, I think I'm good.
All right, buddy. Thanks for coming on.
Well, hey, but before you go, Flo, where can people contact you for Soulcalibur questions or watch you stream?
There's Twitter with the Floji sign, and then there's Twitch. It's just FLOE, just Flo. Okay.
And Floji-san on Twitter, no crazy numbers or anything, right? It's just Floji-san.
No crazy numbers, no 3 Ws or any crazy stuff.
Okay. Did you make that Twitter way back when Oji-san Boy was a good Sagat player?
Do you know the story behind this name?
Maybe I did, but I don't remember now.
So the person who actually made this name was Ski Sonic.
Okay.
This was during the IRC days still.
Okay.
And I didn't have a Twitter back then. I didn't know what to make. And basically, I was Sagat player, and Oji-san Boy was one of the top Sagats in Japan.
This is like 2009 or right 8 maybe.
This is 2009. This is before Evo. This is before Evo even happens yet. So he starts calling me Floji-san boy, and I just was like, okay. And Flo was taken on Twitter, so
right, of course, yeah.
All right, yeah. I guess I might have been in that chat. I don't even recall nowadays.
You probably were. I'd say you might have been, because that's where we did like the crazy like podcasts, like who's top 5 and all that.
Yeah. Fun times. I haven't been in there for years.
I don't even know how to do IRC.
It still exists.
I'm sure it does.
Yeah. All right, man.
Okay.
Thanks for hanging.
Right. Thanks for having me.
Later on, dude.
Peace.
Yeah, so I'm really enjoying Soulcalibur VI. I highly recommend it. If you've never played a 3D style game before, then don't feel like you're too out of place, because that's my experience as well. I've only very casually played Soulcalibur in the distant past and Tekken in the kind of distant past too. So for me, it's not something that I'm very accustomed to, but it feels approachable enough that that's not that big of a deal. Movement is obvious.
Right. That's actually what I wanted to ask Flo too, is how important is frame data in this game? Because everything's long range, so range can obfuscate frame data, right?
What I will say from my experience is that it seems that very few things, at least for the characters I've mostly been playing with and against, are significantly plus on hit or block.
Right.
And also rarely significantly minus on
right,
block.
so there's not like, you have to know your launch punishable moves kind of thing, yeah.
Maybe, but it just, from my experience so far, which is limited, of course, it doesn't seem like that's the case.
Yeah, when I watch it, it feels more like it's about avoiding things because the sidestep is built into one of the buttons. You know, you sidestep this button, and then the A just doesn't have quite the same range that B usually does, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
You know, it feels...
Flo says he's all feel, and it's not Tekken.
Okay, yeah. So that's
it's very interesting playing the.
He says he's never known a single piece of frame data in any Soulcalibur. So
okay.
That's good. That's actually, I think that's really cool. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, for sure. It's unusual to play a game that doesn't have like significant frame advantage, even if you hit somebody, even if there's not like on block. Like typically games will, at least 2D games, will give you plus on hit, right?
Yeah.
But it seems like in this game, it's still like rarely for sure your turn a second time, even if you hit. Because at a minimum, you have moves that are sidesteppable or duckable, right? So like which one do you bring out? Even if you hit, even if it is like your turn frame data-wise, the opponent still has tools. They still have GI they can do. They still have reversal edge they can do. But it feels like it's much more about this constant battle rather than obviously like, it's my turn, it's your turn. It's much more like butting heads constantly, which is very interesting.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm sure there are moves that are punishable. In fact, I've definitely done some of those as Astaroth. There's like some obviously punishable moves. They exist. I don't know that those are the moves that you use very often, though. I just don't know enough about the game yet to be able to say. But it doesn't feel like the moves that people are typically using are super punishable or, you know. Okay.
Well, look, we were supposed to talk to Flo for about half an hour.
Yeah.
And then jump to results, and then talk about Canada Cup at about 6:30. So do you want to jump ahead, talk about Canada Cup ST, and then come back to ECT and Master Cup and stuff like that?
Sure.
So, okay, guys, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to try to get some more guests onto the stream, and we will be right back to talk about Canada Cup coming up and the Tournament of Legends happening over there. So be right back, guys. Be right back.
Astaroth.
God. He has armor everywhere but one place.
But the butt.
Yeah, but the butt. Oh. All right, so let's see here. We're going to do some testing over here.
Testing.
Mr. Babona, can you hear us?
Hello, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear. What about? Well, I'm still waiting for. Oh, okay. Eugene is not available, so we're just going to get Tanya in here.
Okay.
All right.
Join the voice thing. Oh, she's not in there, so she can't hear me saying to join the voice thing.
Yeah, I know, right?
Nice.
I know. I saw voice and I saw a guest, but you said join guest, so I went into guest, and it worked.
Absolutely right. I've never eaten a whole turnip.
I was calling.
Ready?
Oh, there we go. I heard
there
you.
She is.
You there, Tanya? Can you hear us?
Okay, I love you all. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Hi. You're very quiet, Tanya.
It sounds like she's on the phone.
Do you want food? Is that what you want?
Yeah, she doesn't realize she's in there.
Okay. Tanya, can you hear us?
Nah, she's just walking around.
I can't hear anyone. No.
But okay.
I mean, maybe just come back in a second when you're ready.
Is everything okay in there, Tanya? Sounds like you're dragging around a metal chair. You're still there, right, David?
Yes, I am here.
Okay.
What up?
Very exciting.
Hey, it's your hometown.
Trying to see if Tanya is there.
Yeah, 2 Davids. It's crazy that name would be repeated. I thought I was the only one.
Just like me, because I'm the only James around.
The only James.
The only James. It's so convenient, dude.
Does that work?
Oh,
Let's see.
Oh,
no.
can you hear us, Tanya? Tanya, can you hear us? I need to grab some water.
All right. Well, whenever she gets on here, we will come back to the stream.
Technology, man. Technology. It's supposed to make everything easier, but it's like actually everything is harder.
Yeah, I think last time I was on, we did Skype, right?
I believe you're right.
Yeah. So you guys have moved to the more advanced tech.
We have stepped up.
All right. Just so you know, David, you are on stream right now as well, so people will be able to hear you. So, don't say, like everybody out there sucks at ST. Like.
Oh, we love everybody.
Okay.
104 players signed up for Super Turbo.
Hey.
Yeah, and actually, there's a few more actually that were in that we have to add manually because there have been some issues with the Smash. So yeah. So basically, yeah, this is this is the largest ST tournament. I think Combo Breaker may have had a handful more, but it's in terms of the depth of the level of players, it's not. It's a different situation there.
Awesome. Well, whenever Tanya gets in here, we will talk about it.
All right.
Man,
when are you guys getting into Toronto?
We're cutting in Thursday early evening, late afternoon, something like that. And we have an Airbnb that's pretty close to the venue.
Nice.
Oh man, I'm so.
Yeah, I think
are you bothering to get a hotel?
Yes. Yeah, because it's just now. I live about 10 minutes from the venue, but it's just I have to do the hotel.
Yeah.
It's too much to be going back and forth with all the stuff I got to do.
Dang.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
And there's going to be an announcement soon. We're going to be running a Salty Suite, and we're going to be moving the cabs from the venue into the Sky Dome. And the venue hotel, the Marriott, and that if you guys know the Sky Dome, the stadium where the Blue Jays play, they've got those hotel rooms that look out onto the fields.
Oh wow.
So those are special suites. So the Salty Suite is one of those special suites. It's 2 levels.
Okay. That's crazy.
Fancy living.
Yeah, so that's so Josh Cooper, Josh C is from New York is coordinating that. So it should be cool.
Oh wait, hang on a second.
Oh,
Tanya,
there she is.
Tanya, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Oh, that was hard.
Okay. Audio
Cool.
was a pain in the ass, I'll tell you that much.
All right, y'all.
Okay, you guys ready then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, cool. We're going to go live in a little bit.
We're going to be muted for a second until you hear us say, we're back. So you're not going to hear us for a second. Be right back.
Got it. David.
Hey, welcome back.
Welcome back to the Tuesday
Stage
show.
of history.
Now, obviously here you see we just talked about Soulcalibur VI, and it says we're going to do ECT Master Cup, but no, we're going to jump ahead a little bit to Canada Cup Super Turbo Tournament of Legends.
Canada Cup is this coming weekend.
Yeah.
We'll be on the way on Thursday. It's a big tournament, of course. Lots of different games will be there. A ton of different players will be there, but one of the highlights is going to be Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo.
That's right. So just little by little by little, Canada Cup has started becoming like the international place to be to play some Super Turbo. Last year, we had a bunch of the players. Koamon, the Fei Long player, was out there. Kusamundo was out there, I think, for the second year. Matsun was out there for like the second year, I think. And Shogatsu showed up. And a whole bunch of people are out there playing. And it's just even gotten crazier this year. And largely due to the work of Mr. David Babona, a.k.a. Atari. And I believe we have him here. Are you there? Are you there?
I am. Hello, guys. How are you doing?
Howdy do. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. And that's not all. We also have Killer Miller, a.k.a. Tanya, from Southern California. What up?
Hey, y'all. How you doing?
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, no problem, no problem. This is going to be awkward for 3 people or 4 people, but we're going to get it done.
So it's just right off the bat. I mean, I'm looking at the signups so far, and 104 players have signed up for Super Turbo at Canada Cup. Since David brought it up during the break, Combo Breaker did have a little more. It had 113. But still, 100 plus for ST is super amazing.
Are you guys actually going to be taking entries on site?
Yeah, so interestingly, they are allowing on sites up till, you got to go at Thursday evening until like 10 p.m. So it's going to be difficult to do that. But yeah, I mean, I'm thrilled that it's 104 and there's a handful more that are going to be added there were just some registration issues that we're aware of. So yeah, it's basically number-wise, it's equal more or less within just a handful. And in terms of the competition, I mean, it's Tournament of Legends 3.
Yeah, so talk to me about why this particular tournament is such a big deal.
Yeah, so this is the 3rd installment of Tournament of Legends. Now, for anyone who is less familiar with Super Turbo, Tournament of Legends was started in 2012 by Bob Painter, known as Karopi, and he ran that tournament with basically the concept of trying to get all the top ST players from all over the world all into one tournament. And he did that by having Japanese invites. And I think in the first one actually had U.S. invites, as well as and as well as he had a qualifier circuit. So basically, various events over the country, over the season. If you entered, and the people that won at those got into the Tournament of Legends. So that's the concept. So it's like a circuit that culminates in this event. Now, what we also have, and all the previous ones have had it as well, is the last chance qualifiers, and that is effectively, you can consider that the pools at Canada Cup. So people who didn't qualify somewhere can certainly still aim to get in. So it is definitely still an open. It is absolutely would be defined as an open tournament. It's not an invitational, but it's an open tournament that has qualifier spots that are already arranged from winning other events.
Right. But so what's interesting though is that you had so there was a bunch of qualifiers this year, right? But you did have some invites, right? So there are like some Japanese players who didn't have to qualify anywhere who are in the Tournament of Legends, correct?
Yes, that is correct. We have it's now six Japanese invites, which we worked on over the course of the year. Interestingly, we conceptually did talk about trying to run qualifiers in Japan, but it's just operationally almost impossible, especially when you consider the fact how difficult it is for any Japanese players to come here in the first place.
Right.
So fortunately, we had a fundraising drive, and we had a lot of generous donors, and we were able to. We subsidized. We didn't. It's nowhere close to 100%, but we subsidized the Japanese invites, and it basically helps make it so that their cost to get to the tournament is about equal to someone's cost who lives in North America.
Oh, dang. Okay, nice. Now, who are all the Japanese guests who are coming over?
Yeah, so this is really exciting. So Matsun is back. This is his third Canada Cup in a row. He won ST at the first two. He is the only two-time champion in any game in the history of Canada Cup. So he's back.
Dang.
Wow, okay. What a stat.
It's actually really cool. No one has repeated a Canada Cup in any game except for Matsun.
Wow.
And though there are a lot of guys that are going to be eager, guys and girls that are going to be eager to dethrone Matsun this year, also from Japan, we have Kusamundo and Shogatsu, both invites. This is also their third year coming to Canada Cup in a row. So I'm thrilled that they have joined us again.
More Hondas. I know Tanya's happy about that, but
yes, exactly.
Oh yeah.
So now new to Canada Cup and new to North America, this is actually super hype, is Komoda, the Blanca Grandmaster.
That's right. Oh, that's
cool.
So hype, dude. I want a round one fight, have him walk up and bite somebody.
That's so sick.
Like that better happen at some point in time.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm sure it will. Komoda is amazing. I played him when I was in Japan both times, and yeah, he just does such crazy stuff with Blanca. Yeah. Super hype character, and I love that too because here's a character, James. This might resonate with you as a Kami player. This is a character that's not super well represented in North America at all. People are, not used to seeing outside. I think so. So Fromo is an excellent Blanca player. Yeah. But if he's not out at an event, don't necessarily expect to see high level Blanca. So this is amazing having this. It's like a rarer character.
Not considered very strong, but he plays it so well.
Oh, yeah.
Komoda is how it's spelled. Komoda.
Yeah, Magnet Blanca. He uses the gray and red Blanca all the time.
Magnet?
That's what I've always called it. I've always called it Magnet
I've always just called it the best Blanca color.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool color.
Actually, I mean, it was my favorite Blanca color. Yeah, for sure. So
see, people. You know what? People are partial to all those things. I always like to say my Golden Guile is the best color, and it is what it is. But yeah, no, that gray is great. So, speaking of colors, because his name actually is defined as a color in Japanese, which is the color purple, Murasaki Dictator is also joining us.
Dude, these are like all of your characters right now,
actually,
dude.
Yeah. But I didn't know that etymology though. That's cool.
Okay.
Yeah. Murasaki means purple in Japanese, and so he is. This is his first time at Canada Cup. I believe his second time in North America. He did go to another event.
Does he play the purple-green bison?
Yes, he does.
Okay. I always called that.
He plays the purple.
called that Devastator bison because he was the color of the Constructicons. So you know.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Okay.
So Murasaki is going to be there, and he's coming off of an amazing performance at XS, formerly known as X-Mania, over the summer in Japan. He took out Hondas, which at that level, to take out those top Hondas is with Dictator next to impossible.
No.
I agree with Tanya. I don't think it's that bad.
Okay. Well, in any event, he had a great tournament. So he's coming fresh off of that. And then finally, the sixth invite is a player who doesn't really need much introduction, is Daigo Umehara.
Really?
The Beast!
He's playing ST.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yes, we are thrilled about that. So
Very cool.
he came in as the sixth Japanese invite. And it's funny because we have the graphic. We haven't pictured as a Boxer player on the graphic. He has played Boxer in ST. That's sort of his main. But he's also really known for Ryu. So it'll be interesting to see who he plays.
Hey, look, trust me. I had to fight Daigo to qualify into the Tournament of Legends the first time. It was at CEO, but he was an invite. So he got in.
Okay.
So I got in because I was second place, but I was like, okay, I'm going to see what I can do against this Ryu.
Yeah.
Then he picked Boxer, and I was just like, man.
Well, he picked Boxer against me at final round one year, and I made him switch because I beat his Boxer with Honda.
It's because you didn't have an 8-2 matchup versus Boxer with your character, okay?
I'll tell you why. It's because I picked old Honda, and I just did Fierce Grab Loop against him until he died. That was the end of it. So then he picked Ryu, and he blew me up.
But Nuki is showing up to this, right?
Yes, so Nuki actually, so he is obviously Japanese. He's not an invite because Nuki won ST at CEO, which was a huge tournament. That was actually on the 30th anniversary edition.
Yeah.
It's the only one. Everything else was on arcade. That was the Capcom sponsored event. He took home the winner's share of a $7,000 prize from winning ST at CEO.
Against
so
Damn
Nuki
Guy.
qualified, yes, and he had an amazingly memorable grand finals against Damdai, where Damdai reset him, and then ended up going down to final pixels for both characters.
It was super close.
And the lightning leg just did like stupid amount. Well, I mean, is Damdai going?
Yes, so Damdai is going. He will be in the last chance qualify. Actually, Damdai's coming up on Thursday as well.
Okay.
And yeah, he'll be there in the last chance qualifier pools. So I'll be pulling for him to win his pool and get into the TOL.
Well,
I think he would be favored to do so.
Deservingly so.
Yeah, speaking of people who are going, Tanya is actually qualified into the Tournament of Legends right now. So she got third place at SCR, but DGV couldn't make it anymore. Like, I guess he doesn't have the passport. And then second place was...
Actually, DGV had family in town. He does have he just got his passport, but, family comes first.
Oh,
So,
okay.
His obligations.
And then who was second place again?
Boss.
That's
Boss
right.
couldn't make it because he just went to ECT this weekend. So we asked him, though, just to be sure, and he's like, no, my travel plans were for the ECT.
Okay.
That's right.
There was CVSC.
And my Honda beat him one game against his old Sagat, so, I deserve it.
Yeah, for sure.
You switched to Vega. You shouldn't have switched to Vega, Tanya. No. But, I mean, how excited are you to be able to play in the Tournament of Legends?
I'm super excited because I've been staring at a Tournament of Legends 2 poster in my bathroom that had El Trouble in it. And so this is the first time I'll also be on.
Sick. That's awesome.
Nice. Now, El Trouble is there because he qualified at Combo Breaker, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And that was the 114 man tourney.
Yeah.
And Evo was 100 and something.
Got it.
And, just so people know, too, that, we're talking about El Trouble and Tanya and Killer Miller here. Both of you guys have done so much work for the Super Turbo scene as well, right? So you guys have done a lot of stuff. Obviously, David is doing a lot of the legwork right now because it's in Canada and everything like that. But, the whole ST revival scene, I feel like you're kind of like the third generation of people who were kind of in charge of it for a while, right? Because at first it was just like Karopi who was in charge of it. Then it was like Muffin Man. But now it's like you and Eugene are doing a lot of the work trying to keep Super Turbo alive, correct?
Yeah, and honestly, we couldn't do half the things we did without those people before us. Karopi started Tournament of Legends, ST Games, all these amazing games, and we're only able to do all this because we stand on the shoulders of those before us,
Yeah.
And then
sure.
David has taken the ball with this and just ran with it. He's doing a fantastic job for Canada Cup. I can't wait to see how this turns out.
Yeah, because Tournament of Legends had originally been at EVO the past 2 times, right? Tournament of Legends 1 and 2, but this year we decided to move it to Canada Cup because there had always been so much international competition coming out to it and so many ST players anyway, right?
Yeah, I mean, that was definitely part of it. When we decided to do another TOL, we considered several different options for it, and just the roads just kept pointing us back to Canada Cup on this one. So I know everyone here involved with Canada Cup, Lapchi and Vince Hui are thrilled about having the TOL, and we're going to be on a really big stage for the top 8. So everyone is very, very excited about that.
Awesome, dude. It's going to be in a big arena this time? Is that what is? Or maybe it's a convention center?
Yeah, Canada.
Yes.
Canada Cup is in a convention center because it's going to be part of a big overall esportsy thing there. There's going to be a lot of different games there, a lot of different events. Lapchi is teamed up with basically all of them, and that's why it's in the convention center.
Okay.
And it's also really exciting. I should just add, for anyone who's going or anyone who might still be on the fence about going, at least as a spectator, is the venue is in the core of downtown Toronto. It is not an airport venue like it has been in the past, or that it tends to be fairly common for a lot of the FGC majors that I've been to, is they tend to be near the airports. This one is in the city proper of Toronto, downtown. There is so much to do around the area, great restaurants, great entertainment, whatever you want, it's there downtown Toronto within a short walk or short cab ride.
Dude, I think our Airbnb, we can see the CN Tower from like the window or something like that. I think one of the pictures showed that or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, so
looking forward to that.
I mean, I was just in Toronto, and I'm not gonna lie. Like, we were there a few years ago. We went to the CN Tower. And when I just went back earlier, like just about a month ago, like downtown Toronto got developed a lot. Like, I don't remember it looking like that. I felt like it was really fleshed out over there. So
yeah, it's been, I mean, I moved up here in 2008, and it is, the change around that downtown core area, particularly along the waterfront, is just, it's tremendous. Yeah. Very, very built up compared to what it had been.
Cool. I even went to the Ripley's Aquarium when I had a chance there, and I got to like pet stingrays or manta rays and stuff like that. Yeah, it was actually kind of cool.
Cool.
Yeah, actually, it's funny. There is this is a little bit off topic, but it's just, I have to mention it. Apparently, there was some office party there where they rented out that space, and some guy got drunk and jumped in the shark tank.
Oh God!
And did he make it out of that shark tank?
He did. He did make it out, but yeah, that just happened. So,
jeez.
So, yeah.
And are you okay back there, Tanya? It sounds like something's happening over there.
Click on Discord. You can see who's making the noise.
I'm just laughing because it seems like the U.S. has World War II planes and Canada's got sharks, so we all got our...
That's
so
fair.
It's a strange time.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Anything else to talk about with respect to Canada Cup or Super Turbo or anything else that you'd like to bring up?
Good question. I mean, I think one thing I guess I should add, because we talked about the TOL specifically, but on Friday night there's going to be a really hyped teams tournament. So 3v3, which is what it has been in the past, and there are some very killer teams in there, such as Afro Legends plus Damdai plus Matsu.
What?
That is a pretty good team.
Yeah.
What?
No, you know what? I was with Matsun in Japan when that team was formed. We were at a bar. It was formed because he found out that Komoda was teaming with one of the UK players, Orf. And I guess he felt, you know what? I guess if Japan is playing outside of region, so he just went and basically set that up with Damdai and Afro Legends. And I was like, Matsun, I hope you guys lose.
Yeah.
U.S. traitors. U.S. traitors.
Yeah.
Now, what about you?
So that's going to be hype.
Get that money.
What about you, Ty? Are you teaming up with Eugene?
Sadly, man, I shouldn't have teamed up with him now. Yeah, we're Team SoCal. We kept it within the region.
I like it.
So is it?
Yeah, you know what? I don't like people doing the regions as well.
Yeah. So is it going to be you, Eugene, and Silent Scope?
Yep. Top 3 SoCal.
All right.
A Dalsum, a Cami, and a Honda. Woohoo!
You got a good team.
That is
good players.
That is a really good team. That is a good team. So I'll be rooting for you. So.
For sure.
And
thanks.
Hopefully we'll be able to do commentary for this as well. So,
definitely hope so.
Yeah. I'm excited to do some ST commentary.
Yeah, I know they're still working on the schedule. Hopefully there'll be some announcements around that soon. I think we're still up in the air, but I've got my fingers crossed.
Yeah.
I mean, me too.
So, yeah, I think that's. I guess, and one other thing I would just add quickly is a thank you to everyone who's donated. And again, we've obviously been able to get these Japanese players as a result of that. We have an amazing looking championship belt.
Cool.
Yeah, so that will be handed out. I will be holding that up before the grand finals, and it'll be on display. It really, really looks great.
Nice.
A totally different design than the ToLIII belt. So same manufacturer, but totally different design. We worked with them. And yeah, some of the other stuff that we're going to have, the ToL posters are going to be available with the donation that will go into the prize pool. There's a program, same thing, donation, and then for a higher donation, I think we're making some additional signed posters available. So that's actually, I was going to ask Tanya, because she's very good with this stuff of getting people to do things that we want them to do. So it's going to be hunting down the people to actually sign the poster. So Tanya, I'm going to sign the thing. Since I was lucky enough to get into ToL, I'm not going to say that I got second place in an event that actually, David, you were on the commentary.
I was indeed.
Round. Yeah, that was final round, which I got second. He couldn't go, so
Kyle couldn't make it.
Yeah, Kyle couldn't make it, so I got in. So Tanya, I'll sign them before. I'll get them done. They're going to be printed soon, so I'll have those done. At least I'll get one person off your list.
Woohoo! One down, so many more to go.
Now, Tanya, how many Canada Cups have you been to?
This is only my second Canada Cup for me and El Trouble, but I'm really excited to see how our skill level has really increased. We haven't played Damn Die in a while. We haven't played. We played Afro a little bit now and then again lately with Tomo back, but I'm excited to see how the U.S. how really SoCal stacks up to the rest of them now.
Well, I just want to confirm: is it true that there's somebody in particular that you kind of wanted a money match in Canada Cup?
We're gonna do this on right now. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, David. I want to money match you, Ultra David.
Me?
I want to see.
You're gonna kill me.
I want to see. I want to see how your old Honda and my new Honda stack up against each other now.
I am not joking. I'm sure you'll win, but I would be happy to play.
I like it. This is great.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll lose, but that sounds fun.
Awesome.
When 30th anniversary came out, I played online, and I definitely lost more than I won. So
really,
I'm not at a high level right now.
Because I remember when 30th anniversary.
That's online, though. This is going to be all arcade hardware.
No, I'm down to play.
Dude, when 30th anniversary came out and I played online that first day, I was just mopping everybody up, dude. So
I don't know. For sure, I'm down.
Okay.
Maybe the Salty Suite could be a spot for that. That thing's going to be running all night on Saturday.
Sounds good.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
Yeah, I think that might be the spot. And I think there's going to be a bunch of other sort of matches going on there, and we're going to try to record some. I'm going to bring at least some camcorders. We'll try to get some footage of that stuff too. Because you know what, the other thing, there are a bunch of players Mars Gotti, he's never been to a Canada Cup.
What?
He got his passport specifically for this event.
Oh, how cool. Sick. In case people don't know, Mars Gotti is kind of that middle generation, one of the top ST players. He wasn't one of the OGs. He's not one of the new crew right now. He's like in that Damn Die area. He's one of the best Guile players in the country, in the US. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. So really, really, if Marcus is watching, Marcus, thank you for getting the passport. I was definitely I'm sure I was pestering him, maybe too much, but I definitely I was probably bothering him quite a bit. But at least in the end he got that passport and he's going to be here, so we're thrilled about that.
Okay.
Cool.
Nice. Okay. Anything else that you guys have to say about this, or anything you guys want to plug or anything?
I don't think so. I would just say strevival.com. All the information on ToL. There is still a link to the fundraiser, and we're still taking donations at this point. Those donations will effectively go into the prize pool.
Where will it be streamed?
That is to be determined. It will be on one of the Canada Cup channels or something else still up in the air. This is stuff that's related to the scheduling. And,
You got it,
all
man.
that stuff.
We'll figure it out, but it will be on the internet.
Yeah, I always have people ask me, "Hey, do you have time when you're at Canada Cup that I can do this when here?" And
Yeah.
I'm like, "I have no idea. I
No
never
idea.
get the schedules until like 2 days before Canada Cup."
Yeah, that's how it goes.
Oh man.
So just make sure that everyone, follows ST Revival on Twitter. Make sure you follow Atari on Twitter, or even me and El Trouble, because one of us is going to post it, and then we're going to retweet like a boss, throughout the whole group. So just follow us, and we'll make sure we notify everyone as soon as it happens.
Yep, I've got your Twitters up there, Atari FGC and Killer Miller Time, of course, without the first E, so it's Killer Miller Time. So.
Would that just not fit in Twitter?
They ran out of character options,
Yeah.
so I either had to take the E out of Killer or E out of Miller. So I guess I didn't choose wisely on this one.
Now, is there anybody who has already qualified, Tanya, that you want to play in the Tournament of Legends and you just want to beat down?
Ooh, that's a really good question. Ooh.
Just say Daigo, because I know that's who you want to fight. So.
Yeah. I want to run it back because I beat him at the first X-Mania, and then he ran it back at the second X-Mania, and so we haven't really played in a tournament since then.
Right.
So I really want to see how we do against each other in tournament. We've done money matches and casuals, but not a tournament since X-Mania all those years ago.
Sweet.
Now, do you expect he would play Boxer or Ryu? I'm assuming Ryu.
Oh, Ryu, easy. You can just zone me out all day. But I'm getting ready. I had a pretty good Ryu here the last year.
Yeah,
so.
you've done great against Ryu recently with Tomo there, and that's great training. And you've got Valle occasionally as well. Like, that's awesome.
Exactly, and Valle should also at least be on the 3v3 tournament, by the way.
Oh, actually, there's another big name, actually. Valle has also entered the Last Chance qualifier, so
Nice.
we will see him in singles for sure, and potentially, maybe fairly likely in the TOL itself.
And for clarification, not the Tomo from a billion years ago.
Right, this is the new Tomo.
Different dude.
Yeah.
He
I
literally.
think go ahead, Tanya.
Sorry, my bad. Yeah, now David was just about to say it. His Smash GG handle and his gamertag handle is now Tomo (parentheses not Ohira).
Smart man.
Poor guy. Forever trapped in the shadow of this other guy. So, yeah.
All right, folks. Thanks a lot for hanging out. We'll see you soon, just a few days from now.
That's right.
Yes, looking forward to it. Thanks for having us.
See you soon.
All right. Peace
Thanks
out,
for
guys.
having us. Let's have some poutine in Canada, boys.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And some pea meal bacon. Okay.
But not the bagels.
Not the bagels. Not the Montreal bagels, any case. So.
Yeah, I don't know about Toronto bagels. Never had
The
those.
Montreal bagels.
Anyway, that was cool.
Yeah. Thanks to everybody who's jumping on here right now. So, we just had Flo, of course, talking about Soulcalibur. We just had David and Tanya talking about Super Turbo at Canada Cup. Of course, Canada Cup is this weekend, and Canada Cup is always a big event, right? Because it's like not just this Tournament of Legends, but it's also it's the final North American premiere for Street Fighter.
Yep.
I believe it's also a Saga event for Dragon Ball, and I believe it's a Master event for Tekken as well.
That makes sense.
So yeah, it's basically everything. So it's going to be really, really cool.
Yeah, I'm sure it will be. It already has, like I said, 100 plus for ST. Same for Soulcalibur. Same for Dragon Ball, Melee, Wii U, of course. The one with the most right now is Street Fighter with 276. Then you got Tekken. That seems like those are basically the two biggest consistently nowadays.
What about Dragon Ball?
Dragon Ball is on the way down a little bit, I would say.
Okay,
It's at 166.
Okay.
So still doing well.
Yeah.
Still doing well.
Okay. Oh, it's a challenger event for TWT. Shoutouts to Ace King Offsuit, of course. But it's the last event of the year.
Oh, yeah. I saw on Best of Five earlier, they talked a bit about this and had some projections and whatnot. So check out that stream if you are interested.
And it is a radar event for Dragon Ball Fighters. Okay, so it's not a Saga event then. Okay, there you go. Shoutouts to Ace King Offsuit, doing the work for 2 shows in a row.
Pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. So
All right.
Okay, so do you want to take a break, or do you want to just jump into some ECT Master Cup
Yeah,
stuff?
let's just talk about it. That's fine.
Okay.
So the past weekend were a few events. You went to one of them. We'll talk about that later on. But in terms of major tournaments, there were a couple. The first one I think we should talk about is probably East Coast Throwdown.
Yeah, and one of the things that was super cool, Joe was talking to me a lot about this. You know how Jabali has kind of gone, with the wrestling theme of his event?
Yeah.
What I really liked this year was that Joe, his event was sponsored by Roadrunner Records, I believe it was. Yeah, so music company out there, and they did all this like music tie-in stuff. And
it was
everything.
awesome. And as you were watching the stream, whenever the stream went to break, they would be playing music from like the band.
So
and actually
cool.
have like the name of the band and the song up there.
That's so sick. Okay.
Excellent promotion, y'all. Like that was awesome. That was awesome. Super cool. The trophies were awesome as well. Did you see those?
No.
Big records with the
dude.
big square frame on them. Somebody won a big guitar, like
Dude,
cool
that's
guitar.
so sick. So I had told Joe earlier on this year that I love the fact that the TOs are doing this kind of thing, that they're taking whatever their side passion is and injecting it into their event, because that's what I feel like all the events should do.
Totally.
Jabali just having that wrestling thing was amazing, and now Joe doing this, I think it's fantastic. I think
It's
super
great
cool.
to have the events express a different personality. They always have, right? There's always been different feel at different tournaments, which is always good. But in recent years, that's become even more noticeable, right? And it's a great example is CEO and all the wrestling stuff that they put on there. Combo Breaker has its own feel. It's very unique, right? And then, having bands and music at ECT, I think, is an excellent job in that same respect.
Dude, it was so funny because, Joe has been tweeting a lot. He's been, like, traveling with all these bands all the time. Like, he was traveling with Vane. He's, like, the hype man there and everything like that. We talked about this. I still haven't put the video up, but I had him at my house that one time, and we were just talking on stream and everything.
Okay.
And he told the story of how he even joined up with the Vane band, which he was just at the concert, and he went to buy one of the T-shirts, and the guy running the T-shirt booth was like, "You're L.I. Joe." He's like, "The band loves you. Come follow me."
Oh, wow.
And they took him back there, and they were like, "Oh my God, you're L.I. Joe. You're you're that Street Fighter player. Holy crap, we're such huge fans." That was it. That's how it happened. That's literally
so cool.
how it happened, dude. It's so awesome, dude.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Texas Showdown had the burrito contest. Yes, I think they did.
Did they really?
Yeah, I think that 1 year. It wasn't this last year.
Oh, no, you're right. Yeah. That's right. That actually makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, me and Joe were just like sitting there, we're just like video games.
Yeah.
It's so cool. It's so cool.
Totally. Anyway, I heard a lot of good things about the event. It seemed cool. Neither of us went, but it seemed from the outside looking in like it was good stuff.
I felt terrible. Obviously, I didn't get a chance to watch a lot of it. I was I was busy, commentating Tetris and playing F-Zero and all sorts of other stuff. I'll talk about
do
that.
What you got to do, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't sound like such a bad existence.
Oh, man.
I did watch a substantial amount, although not all of it.
Okay.
So looking at the Street Fighter V, Do won it. Do got first place. But I thought it was great to see IDOM getting second place.
Oh, yeah.
IDOM's not a guy who travels very often. Everybody knows he's been strong and does well when he does travel. This is relatively close to where he lives, right? This is New Jersey. So doable for him in New York. I'd love to see him more often. If this helps convince a sponsor to take a look at him.
Well, IDOM has always been one of those players that he never really wanted to travel. So, I mean, I'm sure sponsors have approached him already. He might have turned down some sponsors already and just been like, this is not what I want to do necessarily. I don't want to go full bore into this whole thing. But he definitely has the talent and the skill. And, it's tough for IDOM because when you watch a Laura win, it feels like a blender and it feels like, God, this character, But you don't see a lot of successful Lauras, and it's really more just IDOM than anything, right?
Oh, yeah.
And so, like, it's unfortunate for him because she still kind of has that stigma from season 2 that when you see her win, everyone's just like, ugh, Laura, I think
that was never real, but that stigma certainly does exist. It was cool to see Punk get third. Again, he's been having an upswing as the year goes on.
Dude, speaking of upswing, what about fourth place, too? Unless you want to say more about
No, that's all
Punk.
good. Game Review got fourth.
Yeah, because for the longest of time, I had just been saying Oil King has clearly surpassed Gamer B as the best Taiwanese player, but the last 2 events, GamerB has gotten top 8 again. The last one he got top 8, he was like, okay, Seam, he got top 8. He was like, all right, I've been practicing, I've been going in hardcore with this, and now here he is again, 4th place at ECT. So he's looking really good right now. So both him and Punk, I feel like have starting to go back to where they were before.
As we talked about, ToLIII, we both think is one of the best players who doesn't get mentioned enough. So it's cool to see him get 7th. Yeah. I feel the same way about Terrence, as we've discussed too. Super strong Chun-Li player who got 5th place. Awesome to see Dominion Ed doing work, and then Nexus K Samurai rounding out the top 8. Yeah. Old man Henry Sen got 9th place with Blanca and Dawson.
Okay.
Same placing as Nephew, who's probably less than half of his age. Real chance of that.
The young kids, man. The young kids are coming in there, dude.
Anyway, it was a good tournament. Dragon Ball Fighters. Sonic Fox won it.
I mean, is that a surprise? Or?
Well, he hasn't done it lately because he's been experimenting with
teams.
But
there's
he did.
I don't see any Beerus or.
It's not Beerus. He is playing Hit. He did play Hit.
Oh, interesting.
So it was Hit Bardock 16. I would say from what I watched that it was basically Bardock 16 for a lot of the time, but Hit did have some big moments as well, so it wasn't exclusively that. But I feel like him and Hook Gang God are like literally the best.
But I mean, look at that top 8: Hook Gang God to Kill Sage, Nakio. I mean, it's pretty much who you expect to be there.
Yeah, except Jerry.
Does anybody know anything about Jerry?
Yeah, he's a really good melee player.
Okay.
It's like he's not a rando. He just hasn't been playing. Well, Dragon Ball's not that old anyway, right?
And Yohozi got into 7th place as well, so good stuff there. Yeah. I don't see Super Noon anywhere, so I guess he didn't.
I don't think you went there.
Okay.
Yeah, it was good to watch. Tekken 7 was won by Fighting GM, which is pretty cool. I didn't watch it.
Okay. Soulcalibur VI.
I watched every Soulcalibur that I could.
So the people in the chat were saying that it was Linkors who won the guitar.
Oh, yeah,
which is very fortunate because apparently Linkors plays the guitar.
No way. Oh, wow, that's lucky. Okay, yeah.
Dude, I mean, it's like one of my ex-coworkers from my last company, from my last job, he was just like one of those people that just like seemed to have like good luck and stuff like that. He's like the biggest LA Kings fan, and he also plays a lot of poker. And one time he was just at a place and they were all playing poker, and like some completely rare thing happened, or it was like a drawing or something like that. And they're like, "Hey, you won box seats to the LA Kings game," and he was the one who won it. Like he just happened to be the one who won it. He had a full house beaten by a 4 of a kind, but there was also a running tally thing that was. Because it's so rare that ever happens, that if that happens, then they both win money because there's like a roll. Like this guy just every single time. There was one time he was playing a game and he was like, "Oh, I'm supposed to meet up with my friend here. Let me just put the last bit of my chips in here," and then he won that, and so he was able to pay. There's some people, man. There's just some people.
Is it actually true that Sonic Fox to Kill Sage and Nakiel are living together now? I hadn't heard about that. Nakiel, as far as I knew, was still living up in the Northwest, but maybe not.
Oh, dang.
Haven't heard about it either way.
Okay.
And if that's true, then that's probably a good house to live in for Dragon Ball.
Well, I
did move to New York. Okay.
In any case, sorry, I totally derailed everything. How did the Soulcalibur VI tournament look for Week 1 tournament right now?
I mean, I don't know enough about the game to tell you if the play was good or not, dude, to be honest.
Okay.
But it was good for me. I mean, it was compelling to watch. The results were interesting. There was a lot of variety. So top 8 was Linkors, Siegfried, then Sonic Fox with Aswell. KDZ played Maxi, Nightmare, Sung Mina, and Astaroth.
Dang.
Which is like basically how he's always done stuff. Okaden's Wrath got 4th with Grow, or Grit, as I've been told it's supposed to be pronounced.
They say Grow.
The game actually says
The game also says, how do they pronounce Sofitia? Like Sofitia, I think is how they pronounce it. Like I just heard that and I was like, what? Like, I don't know if that's real.
I always thought it was Sophicia when I was younger.
Yeah, I thought it was either Sofitia or Sophicia. Like, I was one of those two, but Sofitia was, like, weird.
Whatever.
I don't know.
And then Boom with Yoshimitsu, and then Sane with Ivy, and then Sandman, Siegfried, and Thermidor Nightmare. So there was really good variety. Just outside of top 8 was Party Wolf Killick, John Nitty was Zasalamel, and then Jaxel with Talim. So it was just, like, a ton of different characters, and super fun to watch. Very educational for me. The dudes who they have doing commentaries, Bibulus and I forget who else. People who know the game really well. This Bibulus and...
I saw it, and I can't remember.
Katana Prime.
Yeah, that's what it was.
He didn't know crap about it, but he's a good commentator. And Bibulus is giving all this info, so it was really good.
Yeah,
It was really good to watch.
645. I'm not dyslexic, but I'm left-right dyslexic. I'll say that much. So
You've never heard of Sulfitia? That's all my friends, everybody I knew personally growing up, even in college, pronounced it that way.
yeah.
I don't know.
I thought it was either
Maybe it's just
Sulfitia
where
or
we're from.
Sulfitia. There was one of those two, but they kept saying Sulfitia was Sulfitia, and I was like, oh, sounded weird. It was like when I was watching that Final Fantasy IX recap video, and they were calling her like Eiko, and they were calling him like
Eiko?
Yeah, it was Eiko, and he kept calling her Eiko, and it was like really bothering
What's
me.
it supposed to be?
It's supposed to be Echo. Like Echo, like Japanese, right? So, but then he was also calling Zidane like Zidani or Zidane or something weird. It was like driving me nuts.
Zidane? That makes sense.
No, it's supposed to be Zidane. He was saying like Zidane or Z.
Oh.
It was saying something really, really weird. Yeah, it looks like Eiko, but it's Eiko because EI in Japanese is A, right? So it's Eiko basically. Eiko.
Anyway, it was a good tournament to watch. I really enjoyed it. Again, a lot of variety in there, so it was a good one. That was the first official big tournament since the game came out.
Right. And then Injustice 2, obviously this was a big one because this was the last chance qualifier to get into the Injustice finals. Right?
Correct. The Injustice Pro Series finals are going to be next month, and it was all locked up with the exception of this one last chance qualifier spot. So results were unexpected.
Okay.
So many of the players showing up were people who we thought were going to win. Basically, a lot of the people were saying Deoxys would probably win, maybe White Boy would win. A few people had a couple of other choices. The guy who won it is DSV Basics. Basics is a player who is not like unknown. He's been coming out. I mean, he's gone to a couple events in person. He has been playing online and has been legit online. But this is, by far the best he's done. I think he went to Combo Breaker and did really badly or something, but it was his first time offline.
Okay.
So it's like his progression from not going to any offline tournaments to now he's qualified for the IPS finals is pretty remarkable.
Yeah, I remember seeing the results on Twitter. I saw Basics on there, and I was like, I don't know who this is. So
no, he played super well.
That's awesome.
The other players there who didn't qualify as a result of not winning this were Nubcakes, White Boy, Deoxys, King Gambler, Burrito Voorhees, Slayer, and Emperor Combat, who are all good players.
So did none of them make it into the finals then? Did they just all have not enough points then?
They do not make it.
Oh, Jesus. So White Boy,
and
Deoxys,
by the way,
oh my God.
By the way, Forever King finished 9th outside of this. Yeah, he doesn't make
Forever
it in
King's
either.
not in there either?
He does not make it in either.
Oh,
exactly right.
Man.
In fact, his brother, Burrito Voorhees, made it 5th place.
Right.
So, it was a really good tournament. A lot of fun to watch.
So, but the Injustice 2 finals is now set up. I saw the bracket was just tweeted out. So when's that taking place?
That will be November 13th, I believe. It's a Tuesday. It's kind of a funky day.
It's like right before the Tekken World finals? Or?
I'm not sure when that is.
Okay. It's all around that same thing.
But it will be, I believe, November 13th. We'll talk about that when it gets closer. I'll definitely. I'm going to be there. And that will be Tuesday, so we'll have to talk about it the previous Tuesday.
Oh, dang. Okay. Fair enough. Oh, so Tekken World Finals is in December. Okay, cool. December 1st. Okay, it's right there. So we're coming right down to it right now. All the big events are coming up. Tekken World Tour, IPS, and CPT are all coming down to the finale.
Well, we're in late October, so
exactly.
It's another year almost done. Somehow it's just fly. It's crazy. Getting old's a trip. If you're not old yet, it's gonna be weird.
Dude,
let me know. I mean, just believe
the time
me.
You can't figure out where it is anymore.
Yeah, like if you're watching this and like you're in high school or something, and you're like, years takes forever. I'm never gonna make it to college, or I'm never gonna graduate high school. It feels so far off. Believe me. Come on.
Dude, the weird is it's just the longer you live and the longer you've been around, the more time is just like
it just feels like nothing at all. Anyway,
we'll
be gone soon.
Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle.
Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle happened. I actually didn't get to watch any of this. Unfortunately.
Really?
Okay, I just was busy at the time. So Dunpo won it with Aurier S and Mai Gord. Flux got second, which is cool. I know he's been putting in a lot of work. He got Mitsuru 13.
I don't see Punk and Sonic Fox there. I know those guys have been putting in work for this game, but I don't know if they've been concentrating on it recently.
I'm not sure either. Yeah.
Looks like Marlin Pie won Guilty Gear Exert Rev 2.
There you go. Nokami got second. Fighting EX Lair, yeah, that's right. I know a lot of people were hyped for that. SR18 Go won with Jack. Boss actually got second place with Shirase.
That's right. Boss was out there. That's why he's not going to go to Canada Cup.
Forever King got fourth place in that game with Shadowgeist. I
Interesting.
think Dean Nice got seventh place.
Oh, wait. Marlon Pie got first place with Eno?
What is he usually? Isn't that his character?
No, he always plays Zato.
Oh.
He's always been known for a Zato player. What the hell? He switched his main? Dang, okay. I mean, Eno's good, and I know Zato, a lot of people don't think he's as strong, but I wouldn't have thought that would Marlon Pie ever changing like that, but man, that's crazy.
All right.
That's crazy, okay.
Technical Monkey won Super Turbo with Chun over Boss.
Nice, okay.
Psychochronic got third.
Nice.
We'll see him this coming weekend in Canada. Kyle, aka Comeback, got fourth place.
Boss won Alpha 2?
That seems
I
right,
know,
right?
but I mean, he's an Alpha 3 player, but that's weird.
I mean,
Okay.
you know.
Chris G won Third Strike.
Oh, I watched the end of that one. He just plays whatever. In grand finals, he played Remy and Sean, and he closed it out with Sean. You know how he does it, right? So he's doing pretty well. I believe that was on the. Oh man, what do they call the circuit for Third Strike?
Too Old, Too Furious.
I don't think that's what the circuit's called.
Not the circuit. Yeah. That was a Jazzy Circuit.
Jazzy Circuit.
Jazzy Circuit. Yes.
Yeah. Very cool. Chris G also won Marvel Infinite.
Okay.
EX2 Plus, won by 18 Go. The same guy who won.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Fighting X Layer. So I guess
and
that
of
makes
course,
sense. Obviously, Boss won
CVS2. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. But I did watch a little bit of that. It wasn't as much of a blow up as it has been in the past.
Oh, for CVS2?
Yeah. Typically Boss shows up and basically sweeps everybody. It's super easy. And he obviously did win. But I felt like Nerd Josh and Psychochronic put up a better battle than I've seen in the past. So that was pretty cool. And then Jay won the Skate, won Darkstalkers.
With Sasquatch. Shock.
Boo. Anyway, that was ECT.
Okay, cool, nice. And I'm also really sad that this weekend was also Master Cup because I didn't get a chance to see any of Master Cup. And I know a lot of the U.S. guys were there. Like, wasn't like Sajam and Rip and Bestaban and Mark Man all on the, and Tasty Steve were all on a team or something like that. Rick.
Yeah, Rick still was there. A lot of dudes went. Rick and also Rick the Hotto went there. Yeah, it was a well-attended event. I mean, it was in general. There were just a ton of players there.
Yeah, so I didn't get to see a lot of it, so I don't even know. Oh, Markman was on the Harada team. Okay.
Yeah,
Did the monitor die for 2 seconds during the finals?
I have heard about this. I wasn't watching on account of watching ECT, but yeah. So, wow, 1,120 players in total. 224 teams. That is incredible.
Remarkable, yeah.
Awesome. Winner of it was Team Yamasa, which was Nobi, Take, Yu, Bats, and Nishi. Okay. And second place was Furson All-Stars with Mulgold, Amoeba, Furson Lohai, Cherry Berry Mango, and Furson Rankchu, the Panda player.
Okay.
Yeah, so like I said, I didn't watch it, but I heard that the monitor shut out for one of the teams, and I don't remember which ones. Please let me know.
They said it was Furson. It was for Lohai. It was for Lohai it happened, yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that it shut off, but that they didn't want to, the players didn't say anything at the time. Nobody was like, hey, hold on, stop. So that's a bummer. I mean, it kind of brings up how you should, what's the correct way to handle that, right? Ideally, I feel that you have somebody who's observing there, somebody who's watching the event, the ref effectively, who notices and says, hold on, we got to stop.
Yeah, Ace King Offsuit, absolutely. Link the clip in the chat. Feel free.
Clips will count. That's what I would hope would happen, but I guess did not occur. And then if that doesn't occur, then as the player, don't you think that you have to say, hold on, stop? Maybe in the moment, maybe you don't think about it. It's such a big, tense situation. There's the clip. Hassan just put it in the chat. It's such a tense situation that I guess I understand not thinking in the sort of meta tournament sense of, wow, this is a really bad moment for this whole tournament, rather than just unfortunate for yourself. So it's a bummer.
Oh, that sucks. Does anybody know how well the U.S. team did? I mean, I don't think that they're going to be in top 8 here, right? Yeah. So, but there was a singles tournament afterwards as well. I remember.
Won by Chikrin with Geese.
Yeah. But okay,
US team got to wild card. Huh? That's not so
Yeah,
bad.
because I remember last year I watched a ton of Master Cup, and it was super hype. I really enjoyed it. I'm really sad I didn't actually get to watch.
Archives will be there.
So, yeah. So hopefully.
Can you click on it so we can just check it out? I'd just like to see what the clip looks like.
Sure. You guys are gonna hear it in chat. Hopefully it's not too loud.
I'll try to do it too. All right, here we go. Here's the clip.
Oh, his hands are up. Oh,
No.
Oh, nice.
Ready? Watch. Look on the bottom right. Bottom right.
Oh, he's wait.
Hold on. Oh! Yep.
And it
See,
came,
that's
wow,
when
it
he
was
turned around.
literally just a
Oh
second.
my god.
His hand was off the stick. You
Yeah,
saw it.
yeah.
It was final round.
It was final
It
round.
was final round.
Final
Look,
round and
ready?
it went black. Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
Ugh.
Dude. Ugh. Okay.
That's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Sorry, I didn't stream that on the stream, but we were just listening to it. So, but yeah, you could actually see the monitor turn off on low high. That's unfortunate.
Like, it's just
so.
for a second, but man, again, what
someone
what a
said it
situation.
happened twice. Siloscope
Oh,
says it
really?
happened twice, so there might have been another time that it happened as well. So
That is a bummer.
and that just throws off your momentum.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Even if the guy didn't attack him or anything during that time, it's just like it happens. And you're like, what the
You're
heck?
mentally out of it for
Yeah,
at least
yeah,
a second, and then you have to spend the time to get back into it. It's not instant.
Exactly. So.
Oy.
Oh, there was more. I didn't watch it far enough. I guess I could have watched it more. So it looked like that clip was about to run out. So maybe I could have went with the other clips or something like that.
Okay.
So something happened at CT. Oh yeah. I heard that happened to Alex Kerr. It happened to Kataru in one match, but he just was like, that's fine. You know, the monitor kind of fritzed on him at one point. And there is a rule at the CTWC that you can challenge that and just be like, let's do that again. And Alex was just like, it's fine. So he made the conscious decision not to challenge again. So there was that option available to him. So.
Well, all right, that super sucks that occurred. Again, you hope that there's a ref watching. If that doesn't occur, then I think the best thing to do is, as the player, you have to take your hands off and say, look, this occurred. But like I was saying before, I understand from the player's perspective why that's not like your immediate reaction. You're so invested in the game that to then think about outside of it, talking to somebody else, the extra things you have to do at that moment are just not in your brain.
Right,
really.
especially if the monitor goes black and it comes back, you're like, oh, and then you can keep playing. Like, there's just not. It's so hard.
And you think like, oh, this is salvageable.
Right. Yeah. So it's an unfortunate situation. So
Definitely sucks.
Yeah. But I'm sure, dude, over 1,000 entrants.
From what I heard, other than that, just reading folks' impressions on Twitter, it sounded like it was a blast. A lot of folks had a good time.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Again, so many people. Was it 1,120, I think?
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. That is amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
1,100 in
Doing
200
well.
teams, 200 teams.
224.
Yeah. Shout outs to Tekken, of course. Always, like I said, the past few years, the Master Cup has been an amazing event, year after year after year.
Well,
so,
Tekken 7 is doing good work. All right, I guess that's it for that.
Okay.
Those are the big tournaments in the FGC over the weekend, but weren't the only events that people from the FGC attended.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Let me see here. Do I have it? Actually, let's just talk about the Tekken. Let's just talk about the Tetris.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, let's
bring up Tetris.
stuff.
So you went to, what was the actual whole thing called?
It's called the Portland Retro Gaming Expo, but honestly, the biggest thing there is the Classic Tetris World Championships. Okay. So the Portland Retro Gaming Expo has been there for years. It's like half vendor space, half like just go there and play old arcade games. And I was just like playing all these old school games. I was sad because Crazy Climber wasn't back this year because I played that the previous year. But I was playing a whole bunch of other stuff this year. Crazy Climber is just the weirdest game, dude. It's
supposed with K's or something weird?
No. It's with C, but like. It's just like the game didn't make any sense to me, but last year when I played it, it all of a sudden made sense. And this year for me, that game was Scramble. I played a game called Scramble that was, like, for all the past years vexed me. I never could get even far in that game at all, but somehow it just clicked and, like, everything made sense, and I was able to loop it, like, 3 times and stuff like that. But in any case, I was there mostly for the Classic Tetris World Championships. Yeah. I will also add, before I jump away from that, is that this was the first time I actually got to play the arcade F-Zero AX machine with the moving seat. Okay. I've never even seen the one without the moving seat, okay? But, like, I used to play the GameCube F-Zero GX just hours. Like, it is literally one of my top 10 favorite video games of all time. Like, I just was obsessed with that game. I played it all the time. And so I saw the arcade machine there, so I sat down and I definitely played it, and like all the strategies I was doing at home were working and stuff. And I was just like, oh, it was so cool.
I feel like there was some arcade that I used to go to that had F-Zero.
Oh, I mean, it might have been AI. Crackprawn is saying that they had it at AI. I've barely ever gone to AI. Like, I've only gone to AI like 2 or 3 times, you know.
I guess that must have been it then.
Yeah, so, I mean, honestly, I never was there. But F-Zero GX, probably one of the greatest racing games I think ever created, to be honest with you. It's just beautiful, the music, all that stuff like that. But in any case, I was there for the Classic Tetris World Championships, and it's crazy because this year, I don't know what happened last year, but like all of a sudden this year, it was just like, it exploded this year. Like it was just, the storylines were crazy. So like the top 4 were Jonas, who is 7-time in 8 years champion. He's only lost 1 year and he got 2nd place that year, right? Corion, who was one of the best Japanese players, and he beat Jonas in an exhibition in Hong Kong earlier in the year.
Okay.
But then the other 2 in the top 4 were a player by the name of Green Tea, who was a Japanese player. He's a grandmaster in Tetris the Grandmaster, those games. But he didn't play in the NES one, but he saw all this stuff, was like, I want to learn it. And so he learned it, and now he's in top 4.
Is there much crossover? Or is
it's just, the thing about
in
it
terms
is,
of skills, I mean,
so
skill set.
What's interesting is that the rotation strategies, the placement, the way that, like, there's this whole concept in NES Tetris technically called maintaining DAS, which is just like a whole skill set that you just gotta learn that's unique to that game. And like, you don't get all the crazy things where you can rotate pieces and weird stuff, so they're very different. The thing that translates over is just the logic of where you put the pieces and how you deal with the random. There's no hold. There's like only one preview, or all the new ones you have to hold, and you have the 3 previews and stuff like that. So it's a very different style game, but the general strategy is enough to apply over. But sure enough, in 1 year, he's this good already, right? But the craziest part is the other person in the top 4, which was Joseph Saley, who was 16 years old. He is 16 years old. He saw the Tetris videos on YouTube a year ago.
From the last
one. And said, I want to do that.
Wow.
And
he wasn't playing Tetris like at a high level before that.
I don't know what his Tetris history is, but he didn't know. I mean, obviously he wasn't playing NES Tetris.
Sure.
If he was playing any Tetris, he was playing one of the other crazy Tetris DS or whatever like that. But he ended up he ended up winning the entire tournament over Jonas.
Right.
You know, the basically the GOAT, the GOAT, right? So he's basically the Armada of the scene, right? And it's really interesting because it's not even just about like old school versus new school, whatever like this. So there's 2 ways to play NES Tetris. So I just talked about this whole technique. Yeah, it was absolutely his first tournament. It was absolutely his first tournament. And there's this whole thing called, you know, I told you about maintaining DAS, right? So there's whole technique. So if you don't know what that is like on a keyboard, when you hit a button, it goes K, 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 you know. That's what it does in Tetris as well. If you hit right, it goes boop, boop, right? But if you get to the wall and keep holding right, the next piece comes in and immediately it moves over. It's already on the repeating cycle. So it's important to learn this technique called maintaining DAS, because that way, even that boop, 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 boop means you can't get it to the side if it's a certain height.
Sure.
So the only way you can get it over there is you maintain DAS, but there's weird techniques that you can even do it if you like hold and let go, let the piece drop. As soon as it drops, boom, you have about 8 frames to hit a direction exactly in that time, and you maintain DAS, and if you lose it, you have to rebuild it and all this stuff like that. So it's not even just about piece placement, it's every piece you drop, there's like an 8-frame link that you have to do, right? The thing about it is, there's a second technique called hyper tapping. And hyper tapping is just as fast as you damn can, right? But this is the problem with it is we're on NES pads. There's no switches. It's not like a joystick switch or whatever like that. And most players are right-handed, and the pad is on the left hand, and it's very hard to hyper tap with your left hand. Right? But Corion is a hyper tapper. In fact, he even brings with him this little Hudson Soft game here that all it does is just for like 1 minute you type, you just like, or like for like 30 seconds you just type. It's track and field, like the game.
Wow.
And he just carries that with him. And like his record is stupid. Like his
bet.
record is like 134, and everyone else is getting like 80 and stuff like that. But what's interesting is that Joseph came in here and he learned pure hyper tapping. So now there's this whole thought of like, because hyper tapping, it doesn't even help you unless you can literally hyper tap faster than Daz goes. And the way they do that is if they have the nest pads like this.
I see the benefit. Okay.
Right. So if they actually do it right, he actually hyper taps like this with his thumb over here. So he rotates his fingers. Then when he needs a hyper tap to the right, he uses this hand or to the left. And that's what Corian. That's how they both do it.
Do they play with the pad like on their lap?
Yeah, they play with
that makes
on
sense.
their lap. And like some of the commentators are even saying like they were sitting maybe like if I was sitting at the edge of this table and you're sitting over there at the edge of that table, they could just hear it, like as loud as it could. And he is just so good at that hyper tapping.
If you're hyper tapping, you are moving the piece faster than the game automatically would move the piece.
Exactly.
Okay.
And if you watch that clip that got retweeted everywhere, all over the place, right? You'll see this one point in time where he just stacks all this stuff on the left, and like if you did a pure Daz, like you just can't do that.
Interesting.
It wouldn't actually get over there. It was crazy. And so he just basically was like youth, the master of the hyper tapping youth, you know what I mean? And he was able to take that. Dang. It's crazy. I mean, he is the first player to ever get to level 32 because 29 is the kill screen. So the reason why Nest Tetris is so fantastic is that it speeds up until it gets to level, I think like 19, and then it just basically, so once it gets to about 16, 17, 18 are the same speed. As soon as it gets to 19, it speeds up. But 19 to 28 is all the same speed, right? And then all of a sudden, from 28 to 29, it just gets so fast that nobody can survive. They call that the kill screen. And it just so happens that you have the ability to get 999,999 points to max out to get before you get there. And a lot of people have done that. Well, this kid is the only person who's managed to live past 20. Like, people have gotten to 30 and 31, but he got to 32. Not only that, but he also played on stream one-handed, and he's the first player to max out one-handed because he just played like this and just was able to do it with one hand.
Okay.
And it is...
Do you need to press up and down at all?
No, actually so you can hit down early on to get like maybe 700 extra points, like just for dropping pieces and stuff, but most people just stopped hitting down because it's just too fast.
Okay, then I guess I can see playing, so he's got like two fingers that are on A and B.
Yeah, something like this, and then he just...
Do you even need both A and B?
Yeah, rotating both ways is definitely very useful.
That makes sense, actually. Yeah.
But what's really crazy about this is that even without him winning, just the level of competition that Tetris got to is ridiculous. So Corian, the Japanese player, he's 41 years old, right? And he, in the qualifying phase, everyone just plays. You rent a machine for a certain amount of time, you sign up for it, and you play for an hour, and you just try to get the highest score possible. And then the top 32 made it in last year, right? The 30-second score was like 499,000 or something like that, right? And the highest score was 999,999, which Corian did last year, and he was the only one to do it. This year, 7 players maxed out, and 4 of them did it twice.
Dang,
so Corian, Harry Hong, Green Tea, and Jonas. They all maxed out twice.
Yeah.
So they had to go to their 3rd highest scores to determine their seeding. They opened the field to 40 players to get in, and the 40th player was like 500 and something score, and 32nd was already like 599. It was 100,000 higher than it was last year. So
everybody's stepping up.
Everybody stepped up already. So like somehow just everybody just got like...
Did it seem like there were more players there?
There was definitely some more players there because they also held some. They held satellites, and when they won the satellites, it would fly them out. So one player named Josh ToLIII like got top 4 in 2014, and he just never was able to come back because he couldn't afford it. But he was back this year, so he was able to play it and stuff like that. So
that's really cool.
There was just a lot of crazy storylines coming into this thing. Like, it's interesting because Green Tea, he's learned Daz, right? And so he had to play Jonas. And then Corian had to play against Joseph. So we had the hyper tappers versus the Daz players. But it was also, 35 versus 20. And I accidentally called Green Tea 37 because I looked at the wrong papers. I was like, oh, he's 37 years old. And then I flipped it. I was like, oh, no, actually, he's 20.
Oh, my God, all right.
But Joseph is 16, and he was going up against the 41-year-old Corian. So it was like It was like they fought each other. And, this was like the weird thing. It was like the drama just all like played out and stuff.
It was really fun to watch, and then especially the way that Joseph had to close out, where Jonas, I guess, died, and then Joseph still had to get a few more Tetrises before he actually won. I thought that was pretty sick. It was like just really good clutch.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it's amazing clutch for a 16-year-old kid who's just sitting there playing.
For anybody, but especially.
Yeah. But, you know, one of the cool things is one of the guys who runs it, Trey, so I explained this last year, but what he actually does is he captures the inputs of all the NESs. So when you watch it on stream, it's in HD, but he's not doing it through any sort of converter or something like that. He actually wrote his own program to read the screen and just redraw it in HD. So all the things that he has, it is all in HD, and it also detects when a Tetris is scored or when a line is cleared, and it plays the sound effect.
That's not even, wow, that's
so
crazy.
The sound effect was there, and because he does that, because he's drawing the shapes, he's able to determine what the shapes are. So he created stats on all that stuff. So all the stats you saw at the end of the game are him calculating that and generating it and printing it on the end screen. So like all the the scoring and everything like that, and the stats of like who was in the lead, all that. That man is a genius.
That's
that
wild.
man is a genius.
As a viewer, it was really helpful, especially to be able to see when there was like a drought of the long piece. And sometimes it'd be like 25, 30 times without a long. It was crazy.
Yeah.
And like if you didn't have that counter, you would know, all right, it's been a while. But like being able to count it is like a big boost to the viewer experience.
Yeah, so that thing that's coming up red, that he wrote that.
Yeah, that's amazing.
in there. And also the Tetris percentages. So to max out, you have to be at about 60% line clearing through pure Tetrises. And that helps, because last year when we were doing commentary, it was like, oh, they're neck and neck. Oh, he's in here. He's about this far behind. But all of a sudden, like this year, we were able to be like, oh, look, he's at this percentage rate. And we were able to talk about so many more
Is that
things.
why you could be so precise with how many Tetrises Joseph needed at the end to beat Jonas?
That was also just, in general, everybody knows how much Tetrises score you at around that level. So we just knew by the time it gets there, it's about 30,000 for a Tetris. So you just kind of calculate it from there. But dude, it was crazy, and it was cool, dude. It was really exciting, and everybody was just like so hype afterwards. Like everybody was just like in this euphoric mood, and honestly, the fact that Jonas lost actually was, even Jonas said this. He feels like it was great because then it showed like, no, you don't have to be a guy that played this for 20 years. You can just come in here and play and everything like that. Obviously, the hardest thing is that the game doesn't exist anymore. Right? And it's like impossible to find. And I'm on a personal mission now, so I got to meet Tetsuya Mizuguchi there. So he's the guy who created Tetris Effect, the one with the trippy music that you heard at Sony, right? But he also created Luminous, he created Meteos, he created Rez, Child of Eden, every extra extend. He's like created all these great music games before. He was there to promote the game, and he just fell in love with the tournament. So I kept saying to everybody, like, we need to convince him to make a DLC patch for Tetris Effect for NES mode and just recreate all of the frame data and all of the stuff for NES, because he has the pull. He's like going to be the only guy that has the pull to do that. Like, we should totally like kickstart it or something like that, awesome. Dude. I think that'd be super awesome.
Super cool, dude.
Yeah, but I got to meet him and everything, and I just kept telling him how much of a big fan of his I was. He was like blown away. I don't think he expected people to be like, oh my God, you're Tetsuya Mizuguchi, oh my God, because he just looked like he was beside himself, how crazy it was. Yeah. So but I mean, the League of Legends player Meteos probably named himself after that game, to be honest with you.
Is that a guy? I don't even know.
I don't even know. I'm just assuming. Yeah. So Meteos is a super fun game.
Well, it was there was a lot of people watching. It was like 20,000 plus.
So at the end, it almost got to 30,000. We saw a picture of 28,000. I think someone said last year, like, it topped out at like 5,000.
That's what I was going to say, because I remember watching it last year too, because you were there. So I just checked it out, and I recall it being an order of magnitude less for sure.
And it's weird because after it ended, like, that video clip of Joseph beating Jonas just was everywhere. I could, like, literally after the tournament was done, Slasher was DMing me. He was like, what is the kid's Twitter, I've got to create a moment. You got to tell him to get on social media. Like Slasher was like talking to me about stuff like that.
Good job, Rod.
I think Artosis, or was it Tasteless? Which one's Dan? Dan is
Artosis.
Artosis, like even messaged like talking about saying that he saw me play and he saw me commentary and everything like that. Dude, that clip went crazy.
Yeah,
I couldn't believe how crazy it went. So
yeah, a lot of people were talking about it for sure. Very cool.
Yeah, Sleepgate. I don't know what Sleepgate is. And Jonas lives right here in Southern California. Right?
Oh, okay.
He owns a bar, and so he was just like he found out I was in Santa Monica. He's like, okay, we just need to just like chill and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's great, dude.
So,
that's cool.
Yeah, so. But yeah.
You can confirm
was the Alex Kerr TV thing. Yeah, dude, I made so many stupid mistakes while I was commentating that. Dude. So I accidentally called Green Tea 37.
Right.
And then there was the European champion Svavar, and I was like, he's from Sweden. He was from Iceland.
Okay, all right.
And then after the whole tournament was over, Joseph's sister ran up to hug him. But, he was 16 years old, so I was like, he had to have a parental guardian to take him here.
I mean, it's reasonable.
And Asian people, I just saw an Asian lady running up, and I was like, oh, and his mom is coming to graduate. Then I caught a look at her face, and I was like, oh, she's really young. And I was like, or his sister's Asian, I can't tell. So, yeah, that was...
Dang.
Yeah, but the funniest thing is after the tournament was done, I specifically went up to her and I was like, just so you know, I accidentally said, like, Mom, I apologize. I corrected. I said sister afterward. And she was like, oh, no, that's fine. At least you didn't say that I was his girlfriend. And I was like, yeah, actually, that's a good call there.
Is she substantially older? Was she like
I have no idea.
Guardian in that tournament or
something?
Freaking
Asian. I can't tell, dude.
I was wondering if you asked. Yeah.
No, I didn't ask. So shout outs to Casey Fuse Coast.
Woo! 3. That's a big old woo.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I mean, 28,000, 29,000 viewers for that. I mean, that was pretty ridiculous. It was really, really... It was really cool.
It was fun to watch. I'm not lying. I think it was really cool.
I had a lot of fun, and so for me, obviously this is just a thing of passion for me, right? Yeah. So but it's interesting. We're all they're all talking about ways to grow it and stuff like that. Chris Seglia even tweeted me after. He was like, "Oh, I forgot about that. I wanted to go this year." So he was like, "Remind me next year." And I told them about it too because I was like, "Dude, like." This is a guy that you need to talk to
that makes sense.
In terms of production and stuff like that. Because I was talking to them. We're talking into microphones. It's like old season meetings times. Right? We didn't have headsets. So whenever Adam Cornelius, one of the guys who's running it, needed to give us information, he was literally like walking up to us. And I was just like, yeah, we should probably get one of those headsets and do all these things. And they're like, oh, shout outs.
Woo! I'm not getting falsetto for one.
Yeah, I know, right?
No, thanks though.
But so like I was saying, we should get the headsets. He's like, we may have to try to like step up for that next year and stuff like that. And next year is going to be the 10th tournament. So,
wow, all right.
But here's the weird thing. Let me ask you this logic. So Trey, one of the guys, the guy who did all the video stuff and like that, and he's one of the main guys who runs it. He was like, it's interesting because it's the 10th tournament, but it's technically not the 10th anniversary. Because it's really the 9th anniversary from the first tournament, because the second year is the first anniversary, right? So you can't say on the 10th year, 10 years ago we started this, because technically it was 9 years ago they started that. So, like, what do you call it?
I don't know. When did the century start? 2000 or 2001?
Yeah, that's a good question, actually.
So, it's just one of those counting things.
Yeah. Dude,
2001 is when it started.
Yeah, dude, everybody was laughing when I was like, his mother, his sister, I can't tell. Yeah, everybody was giving me a hard time for that, but...
Yeah, man, it was fun to watch. You did a good job. It was cool.
It was funny, too, because, like, we were all saying, like, in the Tetris chat is usually pretty nice, and the scene is really... We're all, like, everybody... Like, the story of Yanni, he's, like, a player from Europe as well. He was the previous greatest player from Europe.
Okay.
And he missed his flight to get out here. And he just couldn't make it because the airline wasn't going to do whatever. Yeah. And he had a fan who was just like, I really want you to go. And he ponied up a $2,000 ticket for him to fly out to the U.S. Dang. And so later on, someone was actually taking up donation funds to help pay that guy back, and stuff like that. But that guy was just like, I want you there. And he just gave him a ticket and flew him out there, and Yanni made it there and proceeded to get 800,000 in the qualifiers. Eventually, he lost to Joseph, but so did everybody.
Yeah,
so,
if you lose to the guy who wins.
Yeah, but I mean that's the kind of scene it was, and I kept saying it was because the scene skews old, right? But now we're letting in these 16-year-old rabble-rousers. I mean, it's the start of the end, man. It's the start of the end. So, but also shout-outs, of course, to Chris Tang, who popularized the boom, Tetris for Jeff, boom, and all that stuff like that. So him and I always had a great time doing the commentary. And then Arda, a new guy that was there. He was same thing as me, just a big fan of Tetris. Found out about it, really wanted to help out. He's done NHL broadcasts and he's done WWE stuff and things like that, and he was out there just to do all the hosting duties and did some commentary. He's actually going to be at the tournament in Toronto next week for something else because it's a big esports thing, So
okay, sure.
He was actually going to be there. Hopefully, I'll be able to see him and stuff like that.
That's very cool.
Say hi to him and stuff like that. So
very cool.
It was really cool.
It was a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, I had a really great time, and honestly, I really think that the Tetris community, needs to get to a point where they have an Evo, but for puzzle games. Like a Dr. Mario, put Magical Drop there so Justin can go there and prove that he's the best at Magical Drop, and stuff like that. So I think it was cool. And honestly, once he gets the videos on YouTube, I'm probably going to do some match analysis.
Sick, yeah,
just so I can talk about the strategy of placing the pieces
that would be
and stuff
awesome.
like that. I think it would be really, really cool. So,
very cool.
Yeah. So
that would be a good event. That'd be really cool.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
All right.
Well, we got 10 more minutes before Capcom Connect starts.
Well.
Anything you want to talk about? I do want to have a chance to plug a little bit.
Plug away, friendo.
Obviously, I've got the cool Dizzy shirt here, but that's 86. You guys know about that. tinyurl.com/86jchensor, which is where that way you can support me and grab some cool stuff at the same time. But I also want to plug the fact that I had a sub goal and it was met, and one of those goals for that sub was that I promised I was going to do a karaoke stream, and so I'm finally going to do that tomorrow.
I see.
So I'm going to do a karaoke stream. I'm going to do that down here because I don't want to disturb my neighbors and stuff like that, but I'm just going to make it so that people just find videos on YouTube and the karaoke songs on YouTube. Because there's certain channels. So basically, if you donate or if you sub, you can make me sing a song.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'm just going to be singing whatever the hell I want to sing.
Okay.
Right.
What if you don't know the song? Or are you just confident that you'll know the song?
I'm just going to be in the chat and say, I don't know this song.
Okay,
it's going to be disaster, so they can pick a different song. But if they just want me to do it and have it be an unmitigated disaster...
Fair enough.
I mean, I had people there you know what? You need to do the Pokemon theme song. I'm like, I don't know the Pokemon theme song. Do the Poke Rap. I don't know the If they make me do it, I'll make up whatever. It'll be
Well, it'll have the words, right?
Right, but I don't know the tune. I don't know the melody at all. I'm just going to be making melodies up.
Wouldn't it just be like the videos that you do at karaoke where the music's playing and the words are running across the screen?
Yeah, but the melody isn't played for a lot of those. You don't
know the voice.
Yeah, you don't know the melody, right?
Yeah.
So I'd just be making it up as I go. But that's if they want me to suffer that way, if they want me to suffer that way, I'll do it. But otherwise, I'm just going to be singing what I feel like singing, and then I will try my best on any random things. And I'll tell you this right now, guys. My music knowledge is not super diverse. I don't know a lot of the modern R&B songs. If anyone makes me try to do an Ed Sheeran song or something like that, I'm done, and stuff like that. I couldn't do a Rihanna song. I couldn't do Beyonce and stuff like that. So,
James, I believe, was not in high school when Pokemon came to the U.S. There's no way.
I was, because the guy who said that is actually my high school classmate, so...
Because I was in high school when it came to the U.S.
Oh, really?
In '96.
Oh no, you're right. I was in college.
I was going to say, there's no way you were in high school.
I was in college already. Yeah. But I know '90s alternative. I know a lot of '80s. I can do a lot of '60s and '70s classic rock. Definitely could do a lot of that stuff. So
actually, I guess I was in 8th grade, not high school.
Okay. But I'm going to do that tomorrow. It'll probably start around 3 or 4 o'clock. And we'll see how that goes. It could be crazy. I need to figure out some audio things over here before that's all set up. So we'll see what time it starts, and we'll see how long I can go, even though I lost a little of my voice. I can't do Chinese songs, dude. I can't do Chinese songs.
Bone Chan got engaged, huh? Nice work to him.
Oh, really? That's cool. Good job. Good stuff to Bone Chan.
Yeah, it was cool to see also that Mustard just got married. He had been
really?
dating his fiancée for quite some time.
Nice. I will do some Japanese songs. There's some Japanese songs I can do phonetically. Like I can do the song that Chocoblanca always does, the Street Fighter song from the Street Fighter anime. I can do Linda Linda, which I'll probably do. So that song's great. That song's great.
Well, all right. I've only been playing Soul Calibur.
Yeah, I want to play.
I came on this show last week and I was like, Street Fighter V is cool. Play Street Fighter V. I've been playing Street Fighter, and then I haven't played it at all since then, because I've only been playing the Calibur.
Oh God, people are gonna make me sing "She Bangs." Oh my God, I actually don't know that song very well, so maybe I can get away with.
You'll do it just like William Hung.
Yeah, I know.
If you don't know the song very well.
That's true.
Just like him.
That's true.
My old arcade buddy.
That's right.
Not buddy exactly, but he did used to play at our arcade.
If you can find They Might Be Giants karaoke, I will definitely do They Might Be Giants, but that's so hard to find. So, the Tetris streams are all coming as well. I'm working on it now. Cool. So I've procured myself a super gun.
Oh, sick.
Someone like Alex Kerr's friend literally was like, "Here, take mine." And
Dang.
I was like, "No!" And so I got Alex Kerr to find his email address, because he wouldn't give it to me, and I finally got it, so I paid him some money. So,
good.
I was just like,
yikes, man.
And then also, the Silent Scope is sick right now. But
that's a lot, man.
I'm also trying to get
temperature.
I'm sad too, because I should have bought used NES when I was over there. I only have the top loading one, which doesn't have the RGB output. It only has the RF output. And so I need one of those. So I should have just bought it when I was there. I saw one for a good price that was cheap. And
next year.
Yeah, we'll see.
As we were just saying earlier, next year I'll be here any day now.
Yeah,
that's how it goes. So.
Okay. Anything else?
Hope you feel better, Silent Scope. That's a bummer. 100 degrees is a lot. William Hung didn't play Third Strike. He played CVS 2.
So so 645 says, that's right. No stock NES has the RGB output. You can actually mod it to do the RGB output. How do I do the top loader one if I don't have? I don't want to mod my top loader one because those things are kind of valuable, I think. So. But we'll figure it out.
I can't help you
with.
I'll
figure it out. I'll figure it out.
There's another show coming up after us. It's going to be called Capcom Connect. Mm-hmm. It's been going on for a little while now, so check it out. Also, definitely check out Best of 5, which comes on before us. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Their Twitch is Best of 5 Show. They do a nice job recounting all the things that had occurred over the past week. They have some nice banter about stuff. They put up a bunch of custom characters and let people decide if they were cool or not from Soulcalibur.
Okay, and
none of them were dicks.
We didn't actually get a chance to talk about it, but Street Fighter V did get the patch today that improved the lag.
That's true.
I've seen some people say that it definitely feels better, although the reports say that it's like maybe 1 frame.
Yeah, come on. I mean, so yeah, there was really nice reporting out of WYDD who had graphs already of it. He did it super quickly, showing that it did improve, especially the lag cycle is mostly gone. Now it's much more reasonable. It's really just a variance of a frame, and it even happens less often than it did before. Yeah. So they really did do a nice job. I just don't think that it is a major change.
Yeah, it's not going to change much. So.
It's a change that makes you feel better, which is not nothing. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. You feel better. You feel like, oh man, I can't. Like you're not going to blame it on this anymore.
Right?
That is gone now. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So it's like a feel good thing. I just don't think that it's like super impactful. I don't expect the tiers to change. I think the same players are going to be basically the same level of goodness. On the absolute margins, every once in a while, an EX Dolphin dive is not going to work out.
Right? Yeah.
On the absolute margins, every once in a while, somebody's going to get an anti-air that they didn't get before. It's not going to be like a major change. What's nice is that it's consistent, at least.
Right.
So you don't run the risk of like, 7 frame lag, 4 frame lag.
Right.
That is not there anymore. So that I think is the bigger change than the fact that it's on average
But
one better.
When I see someone like Henry Sen talking about that, it feels better. I mean, like, that's crazy because I mean he's like super old school and grumpy and everything.
My thing about Henry is that I think that he just has wild opinions.
Okay.
Just absolutely in general.
So I will say, you know,
that man was saying Ed was top 10 a few weeks ago.
Adil is the guy who runs Display Lag, so he also did some tests as well that showed that it was about like 5 frames or whatever like that now, right? But he said that he actually managed to play it, and he says it definitely that he can feel an improvement to it, and that lag of the original Street Fighter V was something that he was really upset about.
I know.
So
it's certainly a big improvement compared to what the game launched with.
Yes.
Right? Way better than what it launched with. Average of almost 8 or something, right? Like it is much better than that. I would say, you know, that 3 or 4 frames, that's a significant difference.
Right.
I think the average of 1 frame better now is not. I got to be honest, dude. I think that if you were to test him in a double-blind scenario, there's like no way he finds out it's different. But but like I said, the fact that there's not the variation between like, oh, it's 7 frames, now it's 4. Like that I think is a nice change. That's really useful.
For sure. So, I mean, I was hoping it would be better. I wasn't expecting it to be super great, but you know, anything is better than nothing, and the consistency is the important part.
Agreed with that on both parts.
Okay.
Placebo frames, yeah, that's a
good way to describe it.
It's always funny. So this particularly happens in NRS games. Whenever they put a patch out, everybody's like, "Oh, did X and Y also change?" Because it feels like they're totally different. And then those guys, the people who work on the game, are really responsive on Twitter, and they'll often just be like, "You're making it up.
Right?
It's placebo."
Well, I mean, there was that one time at Evo where like some top players were complaining about lag. I think it was like on a particular console or something like that. And so the staff was like, all right, we'll change it out. So they changed it, and then they were like, so how does it feel now? And they were like, oh, this is so much better. And they were like, we didn't change anything.
Ding! I love it.
Busted!
I love it.
Busted! So there you go. Placebo frames, man.
Placebo frames, I like it. All right, later on, y'all, we'll be in Canada Cup. We'll be in Toronto on Friday evening. And we'll be there until Monday. So come up and say what's up if you're in the area.
Peace out, guys. Have a good night.
Let me know if any of y'all want to play some Calibur. I'm down to get beat up. I lost 100 times to Juan to skip words recently.
Oh, okay.
It's useful. I'm down to lose a lot.